and Beart, concluding their warm-ups ahead of the 4 o'clock start. This, of course, is game 2 of the double-header, and already this afternoon there was victory for McCool's in the intermediate final, who overcame any shown opposition in the form of Carndonagh. There's a report now from that game available on the sports section of HighlandRadio.com, and we'll also have a reaction on our website too and on our social media channels from the victorious McCool's team coming up very, very soon indeed. But our main focus on Saturday sport for the rest of the afternoon is, of course, this Beart Setanta fixture. Setanta coming into this game off the back of defeat last year at the hands of St Eunan's. It's a 6th year in a row in the decider for the men from the Cross. They won 3 of the previous 5. As for their opposition, Beart, they're back in the decider for the first time since 2018, and on that occasion they did, of course, take victory against Setanta. Previously to that, they won 5 in a row between 2011 and 2015. But certainly Setanta over the last number of years has been the form team of the Senior Hurling Championship here in the county. But a man who orchestrated a victory against Setanta last year, pulling off a huge result, the first senior title since 1972 for the Letterkenny club. Back then he was St Eunan's, so back then as in last year, not in 1972 now. He was in charge as manager. He's stepped away from the management position. Still playing a bit of junior hurling with St Eunan's. He's joined us on Colcon for the first time. A Clare native, of course, but living in Donegal for a number of years now. Eugene Organ, welcome on board to the Highland team.
Thanks, Oisin. Very happy to be here.
Yeah, listen, we're all excited about this decider. The 2 old rivals going at it once again, Setanta and Beart. How tight is this game going to be, and how hot a favourites are Setanta for it? I suppose I'll throw 2 questions at you to open things up, Eugene.
Yeah, I expect a very tight game here. Like, I suppose you have a bit of a contrast here. You have Setanta, who are probably, it's an annual event to be in a county final, whereas with Beart, they've been building a team over the last number of years, and they're coming with a very fresh young team. You know, probably 5 or 6 of them is their first county final, so it'll be interesting to see how they settle into it. Will nerves get the better of them? But overall, I suppose with the hurt of last year and the experience, you'd probably slightly be going towards Setanta now this evening.
Yeah, well, you pulled it off last year and beating Setanta. How do you go about beating this team that's littered with county players and of a very, very high standard of hurler in the county? How do you go about beating them, Eugene?
Well, I suppose the first thing you have to look at is work rate. Like, you have to have a team that's willing to work and chase down hopeless causes, just and try and put them off their stride. If you give this team, and especially their half backline stuff, time to pick out the pass, you can play all the sweepers you want. They'll just pick out the perfect pass, and they have the likes of Davin Flynn in there, Rory Campbell, Gerard Gilmore, you know, who, if they get on a ball, will take a score. I suppose matchups will be key here today. Who's going to pick up the likes of Davin Flynn, Danny Cullen, maybe Bernard Lafferty, Gerard Gilmore, lads like that. And then on the other side, you have who's going to pick up Ronan McDermott and young Lee McKinney, who had a fantastic semi-final there. I was very, very impressed with him, and I'm very, very impressed with a lot of them young Beart lads. It's just how will the occasion, will it get to them? Hopefully it won't, and I think we'll have a cracking game of hurling here today. Yeah,
St Eunan's lost out at the semi-final stage, and there was opportunities for Eunan's to have goals in that semi-final that they didn't take. Beart really can't let Setanta have too many opportunities from early on in this in front of goal.
No, true. St Eunan's had 2 decent goal chances in the first couple of minutes. Paul Burns pulled off a good save, and then it was a missed strike with the other one. If the likes of, you know, the inside Setanta lads get a chance, they'll more than likely stick it. And it's very important that Beart keep it very, very tight for the opening 10-15 minutes. Let the younger lads settle into the game, and then take it on from there, 1 ball at a time. You know.
Yeah, I know, Eugene, when you came to the county and you joined St Eunan's and you were playing hurling, it was Beart and Setanta that were the 2 big clubs at that stage, and the rivalry between these 2 sides is fascinating.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, when I came here first, it was that fantastic Beart team that ran. I know they went 15 or 20 in a row. Like, you know, they were superb. Then Setanta came back into it, and they've been building since. And over the last number of years, they have been the forerunners, you know, in the county. Beart again now are starting to build a younger team coming again. So, you know, it'll be fascinating. I'd say there'll be skin and hair flying for the first 10 or 15 minutes here, and after that then we'll settle it down.
How would you rate the level of club hurling in the county at the moment, Eugene?
Very high. To be fairness, it has come on leaps and bounds over the last maybe 10-15 years. When I came here first, we were playing junior here with St. Eunan's, and we went on, won the junior intermediate, and we've been playing senior. And for the first number of years, it was tough lessons to learn. But look, there's been some fantastic coaches. You know, the county team has gone up levels in the National League, and all these things help. Like, you know, and we see there now we have a junior championship, intermediate championship, and a senior championship. So that can only bode well going forward. You know, plenty of games and plenty more opportunities for lads to play hurling, you know, which is very important.
Yeah, we're going to have a round of in just a few moments' time. Full live match commentary, of course, from this Donegal Senior Hurling Championship decider coming up on Highland Saturday Sport. But before we get things underway, Eugene, how do you see this one pan out this afternoon?
It's a very tough question, you know. A lot of it will depend on how the occasion affects maybe the younger lads from Beart. I think if Beart can keep it tight for the first 15-20 minutes, they'll be there with a right shout, let them lads settle into the game. But if Setanta get a lead and they're allowed to play the hurling that they're capable of playing, spraying the ball around, then it could be a long evening for Beart. Okay,
we're all looking forward to what we hope will be a very entertaining Donegal Senior Hurling Championship decider. You can join us on Highland for full live match commentary after these. Ron Naveen, we're just seconds out from the start of this Grand Canal Hotel Donegal Senior Hurling Championship decider as Setanta look to get their hands back on the Munster Cup. They lost to St. Eunan's in 2021. Beart are back in the showpiece for the first time since 2018. How key, Eugene Organ, is the matchup's going to be at the start of this game?
Absolutely vital. I can see straight away Stephen Gillespie's gone in there on Davin Flynn, the real danger man for Setanta. Looking around here to see what else is happening. Yeah, Christian McDermott I think has gone over on Jared Gilmore as well, another key performer. We're away here.
Yeah, we are up and running. Trevor Malloy from County Longford, a member of the Buncrana Club, and then shown is our referee for this senior hurling decider. And the opening seconds, both sides are battling hard to try and come away with the ball. It's Mick Donoghue for Setanta, but Beart are able to pick it up with the opposite number 5 and Dara Grant. Ball goes towards the middle, but it can't be kept hold up by Liam McKinney. Here's an effort from deep just inside the Beart half. That one's going to drop out to the left and wide, and the first opportunity, the first strike coming from the Setanta midfielder. We all know all about him. He's an Armagh native. Declan Courtle's effort going wide, Eugene.
Yeah, a bit frantic start there, a couple of mistakes, miscontrols and stuff, which you'd expect at the start, and Declan there in the end of that one, he's a great striker of a ball, but it just tailed off there to the left. Yeah,
Paul Burns, the Beart goalkeeper, drills it down the middle, but they're battling hard again for just in the edge of the Setanta half. That's flicked out now to Gartland. Gartland, a member of the county squad, turns on to the left and it drops over the bar, and we have the first score of the game, and Conor Gartland's the man that finds the target. Eugene, good score to start things off for the Beart men.
Yeah, that'll be just the start of Beart to want there now, just to settle lads down, you know, and get into the game. That was a very well taken score by Conor there.
Yeah, just a minute on the clock here in this senior hurling decider, and it's Beart to pick it up again inside their own half with Kieran Curran. Curran's going to have to kick it forward. He lost possession. It's going to go out over the sideline, and it's going to be a sideline puck to Setanta, and this is going to give the opportunity to Jared Gilmore to level things up here for the men from the cross. Gilmore, another of the very talented and high quality hurler that's involved with this Setanta club, and we've seen him with sideline pucks before. I remember a few of them in his days playing with Donegal and Nicky Rackard deciders. And this is very much well within the capable range of Jared Gilmore. It's about 50 metres out on the sideline on the Oral Leisure Centre side of the ground as Setanta look to level it up. So far an opening score from Conor Gartland from play, and it's gone short, kicked away by Beart up into the Setanta half. They're battling hard for it. Ronan McDermott is in there, but it's with a black and green jersey, who's done very well to win a free. Centre half back Danny Cullen, another man of course well decorated in the county jersey, and has had big days with Setanta and has had disappointing days as well, working hard to win a free. And this free is going to be taken by Declan Coulter deep inside his own half. And looking at the flags down below, the one has died down just below us on the sideline flags, but on the tricolour and the colours of the sides on the flag poles, cutting across the pitch. So here comes Coulter. He's knocked this one high. It's going to drop in front of Paul Burns. He gets a hurl to it. It breaks and it's going to be picked up by Setanta. Racing out is Davin Flynn. We see him for the first time this afternoon. Flynn turns on to the left and the white flag is raised, and we are all level here, points apiece. And Flynn, the danger man, showing what he's worth, Eugene.
Yeah, absolutely. The ball just broke out in there and he was onto it in a flash and just slipped it over the bar. Very, very accurate, very, very quick.
Yeah, both of the scores in this game coming from play in the opening 3.5 minutes. It's a point apiece. Conor Gartland for Beart, David Flynn for Setanta, and Setanta are on the attack again. And that one's been kept in brilliantly by Josh McGee, who got a hurl on it. It was going out of play. And Beart now just struggling to get a hold of possession. It's hugging the sideline underneath the stand here at the O'Donnell Park. Kieran Kern lays it back into McDermott. Now it's the fullback Bradley. Launches it way up the field, but it's going to bounce easy for Mark Keane, the Setanta goalkeeper. His support there in numbers, including Stephen McBride, the fullback for Setanta, who's going to carry it out. Lays it off to the left. Here comes the long ball, and once again from Danny Cullen. It's going to drop inside the 45, and the Beart half chasing it down now is Dara Grant. Grant is able to get there, but the presence of Davin Flynn means it's going to be a free out to the men from Beart on their own 22. As Paul Burns makes his way out now to take this free, and he's going to launch it way up the field in this opening half. Beart are playing from right to left into the clubhouse end of the ground here at the O'Donnell Park. Live commentary from the Donegal Senior Hurling Championship decider here on Highland Saturday Sport in association with the Bathroom and Tile Boutique in Bridgend, the Northwest Premier Bathroom and Tile Store. Ocean Knowledge also bringing you coverage of this game on the streaming service provided by Donegal GAA. And again Setanta looking to build another attack, and again the target man is Davin Flynn. Richie Key sent it up. Position now in and around the middle third. Rory Campbell has it. First touch in the game for Campbell. Now comes out to Niall Cleary wearing number 18, who came in for Dean Harvey. And Cleary's effort just dips out to the right of the right upright, and that's two wides in this game for Setanta. Eugene, it stays at 1 point apiece. Very tense encounter, still a very tight game. 5.5 minutes on the clock. Yeah,
the game hasn't really settled down yet. You know, there's a lot of rush plays and things there at the minute, but Setanta, they're looking to pick out Davin Flynn with every ball.
Yeah, and here they go again with another one launched over the top, and on this occasion Josh McGee is the man that they're trying to find. But McGee commits the foul, and it's going to be a free out for Beart.
Yeah, Dara Grant's gone back as a sweeper there now, they're looking to break the ball there, the defenders, and then Dara come in and sweep up there, and he won himself a free there.
Yeah, we mentioned in the preview, Eugene, about how key it was if Beart's going to stay in this game for a lengthy period of time and sort of keep Setanta out, and they've worked that very well, so they have.
Yeah, I think that they'll be fairly happy there now with the way things are going at present. They're well in and they're well up for the battle, and it bodes well going forward.
The Beart players just on the ground at the moment is going to get a bit of treatment. Referee Trevor Malloy having a conversation with Paul Burns, one of the old guard of Beart. He's been around a while, Burns, and he's looking to add another senior title, get another winner's medal for the cabinet at home. Burns going to take this free just in the edge of the the 20. And he's going to just hammer this one up the field. Also getting a bit of treatment there was Josh McGee for Setanta, but McGee's back on his feet and he's back okay. So here comes Byrne. Sends it up into the Setanta half. It's going to drop in around the 45. Danny Cullen was up there for Setanta, but it was Liam McKinney who got a hurled it. It breaks in favour now of Beart. McKinney's continued his run, trying to lay it out to the right-hand side, but just the presence of Danny Cullen was enough there to put him off. And now Coulter trying to break away. He's fouled. He's been chopped down, and it's going to be a free to Setanta again. In between their own 45 and 65, and I would suggest that Declan Coulter's going to have another pot at this, so he is, Eugene.
Yeah, absolutely. You imagine whatever little bit of a breeze there is kind of blowing down towards the river end and be well within Declan's reach. He's a great striker of a ball.
We've seen Danny Cullen, a club and county, do this on so many occasions as Setanta look to hit the front in this game. It's a point apiece, 7.5 minutes on the clock. Here comes the effort from Coulter, but Coulter's effort hasn't found the range. It goes out to the left and wide. 3 wides in this game for Setanta. They managed just 1 point from Davin Flynn from play. As for Beart, I don't think they've had it registered a wide yet, and 1 effort on target. 1 effort, and it was on target, and it came from Connor Gartland. Again, Burns launches it way up the field, looking for the break there. Beart come away with it. Ronan McDermott looking not to lose a hand in the middle in there, but he done well to hold on to possession and hold on to the ball. And here he comes now, turning on the 45. Is this going to drop over the bar? The keeper, Mark Kane, just plucks it out of the air. Easily dealt with by the Setanta keeper. He hooks it up into the Beart half. Hasn't found the target man. Slips through the fingers of Gillespie, the wing back. Falls for Davin Flynn. Comes off the hurl of Burns, the goalkeeper. He sends it out to Keelan McDermott, the captain for Beart, in between 2 Setanta players. Does well to get it away. Cornerback now, Doherty. Doherty needs a runner in Stephen Gillespie. Gillespie turns Coulter. Gillespie looks up. He mishits it, goes to ground as they're pushing it back. The referee and the linesman says no. Play continues, and it's going to be a sideline puck to Beart. The Setanta players and the supporters wouldn't be happy with that, but it's going to be a sideline puck by Connor Gartland. Right decision, Eugene? Yeah,
I think it's the right decision on that case. It was great tracking back there from Declan Coulter and Ger Gilmore, but at the end it came off as Setanta hurling. No, it's the right decision.
This is the Grand Canal Donegal Senior Hurling Championship decider for 2022. Beart took the sideline puck. It's away up into the Setanta half. Oh, brilliant feeling. Turning around on that occasion was Jack Galler, but it was blocked down by the Setanta defence. Coulter gets it away. He's able to find Bernard Lafferty. Lafferty sends it up the channel. And out come the forwards again of Setanta, but it hasn't found their men. Bundled over it is Dara Grant. And again another effort from Setanta coming in down that left hand side, but it's going to go for a wide. Wide number 4 for Setanta. It stays at a point apiece, almost 10 minutes played, Eugene. How do you sum it up so far?
Yeah, look, Setanta, they'll be a bit disappointed. They've had 3 or 4 good opportunities that you normally see them taking, but they've just drifted off to the wide or been mishit. But look, I suppose a lot that's down to the pressure that's been put on them by the Beart backs, who've settled into the game really well, and Dara Grant is reading the game very well here.
Beart have had 3 efforts. 2 have now dropped into the keeper's hands. Gartland's got the points. Setanta sending the ball up looking for Flynn in the D in the Beart half. Flynn does brilliantly in between a couple of Beart players to kick it away. Gets it into his possession. Turns on the left again, but it comes off the uprights. It stays in play, and it's going to be scooped up by the Beart defence. And again the keeper Burns launches it straight up the middle. They're going to contest this one. Up go the hurls in the hands. Danny Cullen brilliantly comes through. A group of 4 players with possession. Out to Gilmore now, who's hugging this right hand side. He's changed flanks. Gilmore. Coulter can't control it. It's picked up by Keelan McDermott, who does well. Ronan McDermott now pokes it forward, and again it's going to stay in play. It doesn't have the accuracy, and it falls kindly for the Setanta goalkeeper Mark Kane. And another one that Beart just can't find the range. Maybe the one's holding it in the air and it's not getting the distance, Eugene.
No, it's not for some reason. Whether it's just the pressure, the striking, not clean striking, or what, I don't know.
Here's a chance now for Setanta on the Beart 45, and this one again goes out to the right and wide. Wide number 5, Mark McDonough was the player on this occasion, and Setanta now, the wides are building up. They managed just 1 point. I think one might have went into the keeper's hurl, but they can't find the range at the moment. Beart are keeping in touch, and there's a card being dished out by referee Trevor Malloy. It's a yellow card for one of the Beart players, possibly for a late challenge.
I think it was just a little late at the hurley there after the strike.
We'll confirm who it is in just a second. Play is continuing, and again Setanta have won the break, and it's been sent forward by Oisin Marley, and Marley's effort goes out to the right and wide, number 6 now for Setanta, and it's the big 14, Kieran Brady, who got that card for Beart. So the first yellow card of the game going towards the Beart men. Good puck out by Burns, able to find McKinney. McKinney standing on the edge off the Setanta half, and again doesn't have the distance or the accuracy, but they're going to get a 65 here, so they are. It's obviously gone over the line, and it came off a Setanta player. Maybe the goalkeeper had stepped over the line as well, but it's going to give Beart the opportunity now to hit the front in this game. We have played almost 13 minutes. It's the Hurling Championship decider at senior level between Beart and Setanta. It's well poised at a point apiece, but Beart now have an opportunity to hit the front and lead by 2 points to 1. Their opening score coming from Conor Gartland. Liam McKinney here now, sends it high, sends it forward. McKinney's effort is going to drop, and that one goes over the bar. Lovely score by Liam McKinney, and it means Beart now go 2-1 in front in this tie. I think it's fair to say Setanta's had the more of.
At some point they'll start to go over, so but Beart will be very happy at this stage of the game to be 2-1 ahead.
Trying to lob it over the top of the Beart defence here and find Davin Flynn, but there's enough presence of Beart defenders back there doing the job. Amongst them Dara Grant, they're able to clear it up as far as the middle of the park to the cornerback. Callum Purvis, who's playing in the middle for Beart, gives it off to Stephen Gallagher. Gallagher just dinks it over the top looking for Brady. Is there a push in the back by Stevie McBride of Setanta? Referee says no. Brady's still on the deck. Play continues, and again Setanta launching it up looking for either McGee or Flynn. On this occasion it's McGee who just drifts it back, and there is the equalising score for Setanta, and made it look easy from the edge of the 45. I think it might have been Gilmore, was it, that knocked that one over, Eugene?
Yeah.
But we're 2 points apiece here.
Yeah, Jared Gilmore there got on a nice pass out from Josh Connolly McGee, and he found the target.
Yeah, 14 minutes on the clock. 2 points apiece here. Level pegging once again as we approach the end of the first quarter, and Brady's still getting a bit of treatment for Beart. I see a couple of the subs getting instructions now to come out and warm up. He's just hobbling on his left leg. The physio of Beart over attending to him at the moment, and he's going to try and run it off. But a bit of a worry already for the Marty McCann and the Beart management if Brady is to leave the field. We're waiting on Paul Burns again to come with this puck out. Sends it low up the middle. It's easily cut out by Oisin Marley. Marley turns on to the left. It's half blocked down. It's fallen in for Flynn. Flynn and McGee up looking to cause havoc up in there in that Beart defence. Flynn does well to come away with it. Flicked back into space, but there's been a tug in there, or a late hurl, yeah. Late hurl been left in there by the Beart defence, and it's going to be a free on the 20 to Setanta, and this will send the men from the cross in front in this tie. It's currently 2 apiece. This will be an easy one, you would expect, for Declan Coulter to send over, but if you're looking to stay on the tails of Setanta, you can't be making mistakes like that, Eugene, and you can't be committing fouls like that.
No, I think that Dara Grant just lost the hurley there, and he continued in. It looks to be a little bit of a tug back or something, soft enough one to give away, for somebody the quality of Declan Coulter. Now you'd imagine he'll just tap it over the bar. Setanta will take the lead.
The almost 60 minutes played. Coulter, as expected, knocks it between the posts in the River Swilly end of the ground. It's a first of the game for Coulter, as Setanta now edge in front by 3 points to 2, and this is the first time in the tie that they have led as well. Burns again, knocking it high down the middle. Up they go in the Setanta half, and again Setanta coming away with it. Danny Cullen, that's now on 2 occasions he's come away with it, but the referee says that he held on for too long. Trevor Malloy not letting much go in this game, and it's going to give the opportunity now to Beart to level up the tie. And it's going to be McKinney again that's going to strike this. Well within his range, dead straight in front of the post. lining himself up with a black spot on the crossbar in the clubhouse end, and you would expect McKinney to do what Coulter do on the other end of the pitch and knock this one over, Eugene.
Yeah, a little bit further. Small bit of a harsh call, I think, on Danny Cullen there. He started very well. He's knocked out a couple of good balls, caught a couple of good balls there in the air. Just deemed to have taken a couple of steps extra there.
Yeah, here comes McKinney. No problems at all. That's 2 from 2 now from place balls for McKinney for Beart, and we're level at 3 apiece. The short puck out. But the referee is just giving an instruction for it to go back as far as the Setanta keeper. And here it comes again now from Mark Kane. He's going to go longer this time. Sends it slightly out to the right. Coulter gets a hand hit, but the break is picked up by Conor Gartland. Beart of men and numbers there for the break. They spread it out to the right hand channel. The target is Jack Gallagher, but first there is Denan Ronan for Setanta, and he is fouled, and it's going to be a free deep in the half of Setanta for the Setanta side. Now Cleary is going to take this one. It's 10 metres or so one side his own 45. Cleary again is going to send this one, I suspect, way up the field and look for either McGee or Davin Flynn, and it's going to drop on the edge of the 20. Up they go, but again the break is there, and it's picked up by a yellow and blue jersey. Young Dara Grant taking a couple of big challenges. The ball spills out, but it's going to be a free to Beart for the heaviness of the shoulder coming in, and we're going to have that change as well. Jared Boyle is going to come into the game for Beart, so obviously Kieran Brady is struggling, Eugene.
Yeah, it appears to be. He looks like he twisted his ankle or something in a challenge there. He's a big loss now because his physicality been missed inside net for forward line.
Paul Burns sends it up the middle, drops inside the 45 in the Setanta half. On this occasion, Setanta have bodies there. They're able to deal with the break better. It's the wing back Bernard Lafferty. He's able to get it away to Danny Cullen. Cullen cleverly just thinks it over the top. There's a bit of room now for Cleary coming up the left hand side. Again it goes in high. Cleary having an effort himself, and that is a serious score by Niall Cleary on the edge of the Beart half. I thought he was just lobbing it in looking for either McGee or Davin Flynn, but it drops over the bar as Setanta go back in front, Eugene.
Yeah, that's a well taken score there. Like everyone in the county knows Cleary is a good striker of a ball when he gets time and space, and he knocked that one over there from 70-80 yards for Bearters or Setanta now are starting to settle into the game, find those passes, so it'll be important now for maybe Beart to get the next score.
Yeah, Jared Boyle is into the game for Kieran Brady. Brady hobbling off with that ankle injury. He'll be just joining us on Highland here on Saturday Sport. We've played almost 20 minutes off this Grand Canal Hotel Donegal Senior Hurling Championship decider for 2022, where Setanta are leading by 4 points to 3 now against Beart. And a really, really tense and tight senior decider. Highlands coverage in association with the Northwest Premier Bathroom and Tile Store, Bathroom and Tile Boutique in Bridgend. Again, Burns sends it straight down the barrel of the gun, and the break is going to be picked up. I think Beart have it. Yeah, they come away from the scrum with it. That's a serious block down there by the Setanta player, and I think it was Richie Key who got a hurl in there to break it down from McKinney. McKinney now sends it up the line to Christopher McDermott. McDermott sends it in, but again out comes the Beart defence, and it's Denan Ronan who's able to get it away. Mick Donoghue now sends it up the field, up the middle, into the Beart half. Beart looking to control things. Setanta chasing it down with Rory Campbell. They're putting the Beart men under pressure. Lovely hurl from Davin Flynn there to just dispossess Dara Grant. Flynn's done brilliantly. He's going to send it across the 13, but again it is Beart that come away with it, and it's the fullback Kieran Bradley sends it towards the middle, asking a bit much on this occasion of Liam McKinney. Just enough of the weight in the shoulder from Bernard Lafferty put him off. Cleary, the scorer of the last point, picks it up. Cleary now homing in as far as the 20. He wants another one here, Cleary. Cleary sends that one over the bar. Back-to-back classy scores from Niall Cleary. And now Setanta go 5-3 in front, and for the first time in this game it's out to 2 points, Eugene.
Yeah, it is. As I said before, Beart or Setanta are starting to find those passes and those little pockets of space, and they're creating the opportunities, and their radar is working now,
Yeah, and they're picking up the breaks as well. Danny Cullen does well to hold on to possession after a big shoulder from Conor Gartland, but the referee is blown for a free. He's played advantage as well. Setanta have it inside the 45 in the Beart half, and again that's with Flynn. And Flynn's starting to cause serious problems in there, Eugene.
Yeah, he is. Like, he seems to be the target man. A lot of ball going in there. The majority of it sticks in there. You know, he got a little nudge there as the ball was coming in, broke it to himself, and then he was ultimately fouled after that.
And this is going to be another free for Declan Coulter. Coulter has scored just one of the 5 so far for Setanta. The drinks are coming out for Coulter. Flynn's on the deck. He's going to get a bit of treatment. Coulter just takes a breather, taking a couple of drinks. And as we said, for the first time this afternoon here at the O'Donnell Park, Setanta have edged out 2 in front, and we've got 22 and a half minutes on the clock, and they've started to find their range now, and they've a bit of a spring in their step, and they're finding the players in space. What do Beart have to do if they're going to try and curb this, Eugene?
It's very congested there around the middle, and the physicality of Setanta, you know, they seem to be picking up a lot of those breaks. You know, you have a lot of younger, lighter fellas there from Beart well able to hurl, but when it's in the mix there, there's a lot of physicality from the Setanta side, and they just seem to be coming out with those breaks. So look, somebody's going to have to get a grip around there. Maybe Ronan McDermott get on a couple of balls and just, you know, get that belief back into him again. Yeah,
there's going to be a change as well. Callum Porter is coming into the game for Beart, so obviously Marty McGrath and Mickey McCann. Thinking that another change is required. We're just waiting to see who possibly might be coming off, be it a tactical change or maybe one of the Beart players has picked up a knock. Nobody's sort of signaling to the sideline at the moment. It's the cornerback Callum Purves who's going on. So Purves is oblivious to it until now. He sees that overcomes Callum Porter. So maybe a tactical change being made by Marty McGrath, Eugene.
Yeah, maybe he's gone on to Night Cleary there. Night Cleary got a couple of scores there. Maybe that's the reason for it.
Yeah. So off comes Purves, and we watch Declan Coulter, who will take this free just inside the 45. You would expect Coulter with the one to his back to put this one between the sticks, which he really obliges with, and that's 2 now for Coulter. And now on the scoreboard, Setanta have gone 3 in front. It's a 6-3 game. There's now a goal separating these sides. It's out to 3, and I suppose at this stage of the match, the score would be timely for Beart, so it would.
Yeah, absolutely. But I feel Beart now need to get the next score here, just to settle him down again, you know, and get that little bit of belief back into him again. There we go.
Yeah, coming up the field is Christopher McDermott. Off to Stephen Gillespie. Gillespie launches one in. Gillespie's effort is going to drop over the bar. Gillespie's effort from inside the 60. Well, I thought it was over from here. Eugene, you might have better eyesight than me. I thought that one dropped over the bar.
Very hard to tell from this angle now, but the direction of the crowd, I thought it was over, but obviously the officials thought differently. But
it stays at 3. Goes over the top of everybody into the Beart half. The shoulders come in. There's a Beart player on the deck trying to get possession. Danny Cullen's in there fighting and scrapping for it as well. And the ball breaks free. It's going to be a sideline puck to Setanta, because it was a Beart player that knocked it out of play. Not too many of the players contesting the decision of the umpire to say that was wide. That was the first wide of the game for Beart. With 25 minutes on the clock, so we've under 5 to go. It stays 6-3 to Setanta, and now we have Jared Gilmore with a sideline puck underneath the stand. It's just over 50 out. Here comes Gilmore. He's going to send it in looking for the target man up top. It breaks, and it's the midfielder for Beart and Christopher McDermott that has it. Keelan McDermott launches it up the left-hand channel. Good fielding up there by the man that's just in, Jared Boyle. But it's broken down by Beart with a bit of a wayward pass, and now Setanta come away with the referee Trevor Malloy's blown for a free for a challenge Danny Cullen had on Liam McKinney. So it's going to be a free to Beart, and again McKinney's going to take this, and it's well within his range, just hugging that 65 on the edge of the Setanta half, and McKinney has found the range with his. One was a free and one was a 65 already in this half, as Beart looked to reduce this deficit to 2. McKinney is going to place it again. Seems to be dead straight in front of the post on the clubhouse end of the ground here at the O'Donnell Park as McKinney looks to get his third of the game. This would be 4 for Beart. It would reduce it to 2. Here comes his effort. It's going high, and that one sails over the bar. The white flag's raised on this occasion. So it's back to 2. It's another score for McKinney, and it's another nicely hit strike as well, Eugene.
Yeah, that's a very important strike there for Beart now. Closes that gap a little bit more, and you have to give great credit to young McKinney there. That was a pressure free now, and he's stood up to.
Yeah, it keeps them in touch, so it does. It's back to 2, and the referee's blown up for holding on one of the Beart players. And number 12, Stephen Gallagher, was in on the cornerback. Mark Callan, the captain for Setanta. Danny Cullen's going to take this free. The referee's just instructing him to go back another couple of meters onto the 22. Cullen goes short, gives it to Callahan. Callan to Cullen. Here comes Cullen again now. Launches it way up the field. There's enough of yellow jerseys there to deal with it in the presence of Gilmore and Rory Campbell. There's a push in the back, and the challenge comes in, and Burton have won a free again. So they have Dara Grant on this occasion. And this one's going to be placed by the fullback Kieran Bradley. And out comes Burns, the goalkeeper for Beart. We expect Burns just to launch this one up. And the forwards of Beart will be looking to... He's taking a couple of meters, Paul Burns, unannounced to the referee. But the signal comes to go ahead. Yeah, I see the linesman now as the flag raised. Burns is going to take this inside the 45. So this free to come now, and if Beart can get a result out of this one, it would bring it back to just 1 as we head towards the break. Burns launches it in. They're going to contest it in the D in the Setanta half. It breaks, the chase is on, and it's Niall Cleary skillfully scoops it up. Setanta have averted the danger. Danny Cullen's going to come away with it, but he's challenged, dispossessed as well. Conor Gartland has it now. It's going to drop in front of the Setanta goals. Out comes the keeper, Keane. Keane needs to get this one away. He's living dangerously. Somehow he finds Coulter. Coulter's going to get it way up the field. And Flynn and Rory Campbell are chasing on it. It's picked up by a Setanta player. Lovely. Dead straight in front of the post. A timely hurl coming in just to put off Davin Flynn on that occasion. But Setanta still have it around the middle. And it's with Gilmore. Gilmore steadies himself. Turns on to the left. Gilmore knocks it high, and that one's going to go out to the right and wide. And that will be a 7th wide of the half for Setanta on the scoreboard. It stays 6 points to Setanta, 4 to Beart, and we're in the closing 15 seconds of the half, and whatever's going to be added on at the end. I suspect a minute or two is going to be added by the fourth official down below us. We're into the closing seconds of the first half as we wait Burns to take this puck out once again. We have played the half hour. Now Burns will take this puck out. 2 minutes will be added on at the end of the game. Time for Beart to reduce the deficit, but there's also time for Setanta to increase their advantage. The fullback Bradley launches it up the field again. They're going to contest this in the D in the Setanta half. The hurls go up. The break has been picked up, is it, by Ronan McDermott in there. He's had a quiet first half, Ronan McDermott. McDermott sends it across the face of goal, and that one is going to go over for a point. That was the hurl of the substitute, Jared Boyle, wearing number 19, who knocked it over the bar. The keeper is saying it was wide. The umpire on the left upright was saying that it went over the bar. The referee hasn't signalled to change it, but he's having a word on the radio with the linesman. Yeah, he's given it. It's a 6-5 game. Clever hurling from Ronan McDermott to send it across the face of the goal. And Boyle, the substitute, found the target, so he did, Eugene.
Yeah, he did. Ronan McDermott, Beart need more out of Ronan McDermott. When he's on the ball, he's a real danger. Just need a small bit more out of him. But look, Beart seem to have weathered the storm here now, and going into half time, there's not going to be too much in it. Yeah,
there's one in it at the moment. It's 6-5, and we've still about 30 seconds off the 2 to play. It's going to be a free to Setanta, which Coulter's going to take, and again it's on the edge of the Beart half. The book is out. The referee Trevor Malloy, is going to have a word with Christopher McDermott. We've had one yellow so far in this game. That was for Kieran Bradley, but he's gone off since injured. And Christopher McDermott gets a yellow card, a second yellow card in this game, and it's come from Beart. So the likes of Christopher McDermott, Ronan McDermott, and these players, the Beart management will be looking for a lot more out of them in the second half. Is it going to be a 1 point game at the break? Is it going to be 2? Declan Coulter, so far in this tie, has got 2 from frees. Coulter from the age of the 65 in the Beart half sends it forward, but that one's going to go out to the right and wide. And that's the 8th wide of the first half for Setanta. The referee, Trevor Malloy, blows the half-time whistle. Both sets of teams now making their way to the tunnel to head to the changing rooms. And as they go into the changing rooms, Eugene, Oregon, it's a 1 point game. It's still anybody's game here. 6-5 in favour of Setanta. Beart were able to get back into it, having been 3 points down, Eugene, but Setanta, as they go to the break, will be feeling they should have been further in front.
Yeah, they've had a lot of wides there, uncharacteristically for them. I think Beart will be the happier team now going in at half time. There's only the minimum between them. It stretched out to a 3 point lead there at one stage for Setanta, and they've clawed it back, and there's just a minimum in it now, so it's really setting itself up now for a cracking second half.
Yeah, cracking second half that will have full live match commentary, of course, on Highland. It's a 6-5 game. The story of this tie, it was Conor Gartland who got his one and only point in the opening half in the very first minute of this game. Davin Flynn levelled things up at a point apiece. Between that, the 3rd and the 16th minute, Setanta edged out in front by 3 points to 2. But there was a period there between the 19th and the 24th minute where there was 3 unanswered scores, 2 classy, top quality scores from Niall Cleary, and a free from Declan Coulter had them 6-3 in front. But Liam McKinney with his 3rd of the game, and Jared Boyle, the substitute, coming into the match in the first half with the injured Kieran Brady. That was on 2 unanswered scores from Beart, which brought it back to a 1 point game. I think Mickey McCann will be the happier, will he, of the two management. Marty McGrath, rather, and Mickey McCann will be the happier of the two managements, Eugene. Yeah,
Marty and Mickey will definitely be, their younger players have settled into the game well. As I said, you probably need a little bit more out of Ronan McDermott now in the second half going forward. He's a real leader on that team. Yeah. And if you can get him on the ball, he's a real threat. But
Beart will still have to be very, very wary of the threat that Setanta pose, because they've got a lot of quality hurlers, so they have Eugene. They have. And they could run away with this game in the blink of an eye, so they could.
Hurling can change very, very fast. 2 pucks of the ball, you could be 6 points down, but Darragh Grant, I have to say, is doing a fine job sweeping across there, and they have curtailed to an extent the influence of Davin Flynn in this game. I think he's 2 from play there. He's working hard, but the defensive fairly well marshalled the Setanta threat for now. But as I say, if they slacken off and allow good quality ball to be delivered in there, then they could find themselves in a bit of trouble. But look, it's really set up now for a good second half. As I say, young Liam McKinney has showed very, very well for his first final. He's hit 3 great frees there, pressure frees when Beart needed a score. Keelan McDermott's playing well there. Kieran Bradley, full back, is playing well. Stephen Gillespie, as I said, is doing a good job on Davin Flynn, and then Darragh Grant's picking up the breaks, But on the Setanta side, Danny Cullen's having a fine game there, centre back. He's breaking up a lot of attacks and coming out with ball. Jared Gilmore's got a good point. Niall Cleary's got 2 good points. So look, they'll
be looking for more if they're bigger men, so they will.
They will, I suppose. Yeah. You would be from your county players, you'd be expecting them to stand up and drive it on, But look, it's very finely balanced, But again, 2 pucks of a ball, I said, it could open up and the floodgates could open, but at the minute, no, it's finely poised.
It is indeed, just 1 point separating these sides. You can join us shortly again for live second half commentary, but at the break in the O'Donnell Park in the Grand Canal Hotel, Donegal Senior Hurling Championship Final for 2022. Setanta are edging it by 6 points to 5 against Beart. Join us for more shortly.
Joined by a very relaxed Damien Dowd from Beart. We're pretty pleased at the 5 points to 6 down here at half time, and given the amount of ball, the amount
amount of possessions Setanta had in that first half, we'd be happy to just point down. They must have 6 or 8 wides there, and really they should be leading us a lot more. So both boys will be fairly happy with that. They can't try to take
We're known very much as underdogs. I'm sure we're delighted to be back in the county final again. 2018 is the last time we're in the final. 2018 is the last time I think they'll take it back home again.
Aye, and at that stage, Setanta were very much the favourites that day as well. And our old guard was an old team at that stage, and this is a young team today. There's only 5 in the starting team from 2018 starting here today. So for a lot of our young boys today, it's going to be a wee bit of nerves. And you can see that wee bit of competitiveness there in the first half. But we're hoping as the second half wears on, some of those young players, the likes of Liam McKinney, who's been good for the freeze, but hasn't offered so much today, Conor Garton, Jack Gallagher, and so on, that they'll offer a wee bit more as their freshness and their legs start to pay off in the second half.
And finally, how important was it to tag on those 2 last goals in the half, just to bridge the gap to 1?
Oh, absolutely brilliant. Like, you know, we were just looking there, Darragh Grant's been sweeping brilliantly in that full back line for us in there. We're just preventing Setanta from getting a goal, keep ourselves in touch, and we only a point down, having played really none in the first half. It's pretty encouraging from our point of view here.
David, thanks for joining us. I'm joined by Simon McMiniman, chairman of the Setanta Club. What's your view on the first ever season, Simon?
Hectic. No, 2 evenly matched teams. I think you see it there. It's just work rate's going to win this game, and I think it's just going to go to the wire there. You see it there. It's up and down the pitch. Nobody's getting away from anybody. There's no space. It's just whoever I think wants it the most today is going to get it. It's
8 wides, I think, in the first half. That'll be something I'm sure that they'll be working on at half time.
Aye, maybe they're, but I don't know, apprehensive, or words I'm looking for is a bit nervous, maybe, like trying to get on the scoreboard, try to settle themselves, like. But I'm sure now, get the break, they're in the pitch of the game now, started playing a bit better in the second half, and Beart came in well there at the end, like we're at 6-3 up, I think, and Beart got 2 there at the end, like. But I think the lads find the range now, they're up to the tempo of the game, and I think they'll be better next half. I'd like to think they'll be better next half. And
finally, Simon, Setanta took the junior title last year, and I'm sure they're keen to add the senior title to last night's success this evening.
I don't think it's ever been done in the club before, a junior or a senior. I know, just reading the cup there last night, 1997 was the last time Setanta won the junior, but that's when it was just the one team. So to do it today, brilliant. It'll be history makers, but sure, here, 35 minutes time, we'll be able to tell you where.
Simon, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Kieran.
Good man, Simon. Thanks for joining us.
Johnny, will you stop pulling out the ball? Jesus Christ, you're useless, Johnny! Johnny, are you listening to me, Johnny? Come on, will you? Look at me when I'm talking to you, Johnny! Ah, Johnny, you're better than that, will you? Come on, for Jesus' sake, Johnny! Ah, Johnny, that's not good enough! Will you have your chance? Will you kick it over the bar, Johnny? My son will be on that county minor team. I have him training every morning, every evening. He's flying fit, so he is. Listen to me! The next time he does that to you, Johnny, look at me when I'm talking to you, Johnny! One more time and I tell you I'll put you here beside me, Johnny! I'll bring you home. Christ, Johnny.
You relax, pal. They're only young fellas. Give them a chance, will you?
Take the walk there. Chill out for a minute. Go away, he's having a clue. Go away with yourselves. Come on.
Here, you need to take a break.
Christ, go on then. I'll leave you. Get up. Go on.
If kids can't make their own mistakes, how will they learn? It's no wonder we are losing players to pushy parents every year in the GAA. We need to respect players, referees and supporters in our games. Set a good example for everyone.
the Grand Canal Hotel Donegal Senior Championship decider for 2022. We're about to get the second half underway. Things stand at Setanta that are leading by a point, 6-5 after the opening half, and Trevor Malloy gets the second half up and running. And in the second half, Setanta, who are leading, are playing from right to left and into the clubhouse end of the ground, but they're living dangerously at the back here at the moment. The ball sent up the line, looking for Gilmore, but it's cut out by Beart, and it's cut out by one of their the young guard in Kieran Kern, and he's won himself a free as well. Gilmore just coming in a bit heavy with the challenge, and this free is going to be taken by Liam McKinney. This will be his longest effort of the day. Young McKinney so far this afternoon has scored 3 of the 5 points, and 2 from frees, 1 from a 65. This is over 70 out. McKinney hitting this one into the River Swilly end of the ground, but it doesn't have the distance or the accuracy. It's kept in play. One of the Beart players and Stephen Gallagher got a hurl to it, but Setanta are able to clear the danger, and they send it up the right hand side. Looking for McKinney on this occasion, but it was cut out in there by Declan Coulter. Coulter does well to win a free, and Beart have lost the opportunity to try and level up this game, and now Setanta have an opportunity to go 2 in front once again. Remember, they did lead by 3 on 24 minutes towards the end of the half, but McKinney and Boyle have brought it back to a 1-point game. Coulter so far in this tie has got 2, looking for a third. Coulter's effort just sails over the bar. A lovely strike by Declan Coulter as Setanta hit first in the second half, and now 2 up again. So there, Eugene.
Yeah, young Liam McKinney is probably his most difficult free there, and it just drifted out to the left a bit, and then from the resultant break, Setanta win a free and Declan slots it over.
The ball's driven towards the middle. Up go the hurls for it. Beart are working hard trying to pick it up. It's with Jack Gallagher. Just thinks it down the line now into Ronan McDermott. And McDermott, this effort is going to go out to the left and wide. And second wide of the game for Beart in this one. Ronan McDermott not able to find the range. Kane, the keeper, sends it out to the right. Looking again for Coulter. Coulter's been marked by Tom Doherty. Up into Oisín Marley. Goes past Oisín Marley. Out comes Davin Flynn again. From 50 out. Turned onto the right, but his effort's going to go out wide. Wide number 9 in this game for Setanta. The first of the second half. We've had a lively start to the second half. Almost 3 minutes played. It's a 7-5 game in favour of Setanta, who are competing in their 6th final in a row, and they're looking to make up for the disappointment of losing out to Eugene Organ St Eunan's last year, as Eunan's took a huge result in beating them on the championship day. Beart are looking to cause a similar shock today against the men from the Cross, who will be seen as hot favourites for this one. And again, Beart just can't find the man up top. Setanta are able to get possession. Danny Cullen being swung round there, and it's going to be another free to Setanta deep in their own half. I think Danny Cullen is going to take this, and again Cullen's just going to send this one up the field, up towards the middle, but it's easily dealt with by Beart, and it's Conor Gartlin outside the 45. It's another one in. Second wide of the half for Beart. It's a third now in this game. And Eugene's just spotted something. Eugene.
Yeah, I think it's been called back for a free. I think they had the advantage there for the shot, Connor's shot, but it's now been called back for a free on the 65.
So a chance again for McKinney on the 65. We've already seen him hit these, of course, in the opening half, and this would bring it back to a 1-point game with 4 on the clock. Young McKinney, very talented young hurler, lovely striker off the ball. He's already had one from a 65 today. Can he reduce the deficit to 1? Here comes his effort. It goes high, and that one again has split the posts. It's a 7-6 game, and young McKinney is keeping the Beart men in touch here, Eugene.
Yeah, absolutely. Another very important score there, you know, at the start of the half, just to settle them down again, rather than let Setanta, you know, get too much of an advantage.
The ball from Keane is sent out to the right, and it's going to be A sideline puck, is it? Yeah, to Beart. And it's actually going to be Setanta. Yeah, Setanta's going for. And Declan Coulter's going to come over and take this one. And we've seen Coulter, of course, on days here and big deciders, dominating in the game, scoring 10 plus points so far today. Coulter has hit 3 from frees of the 7 points so far. It's a 7-6 game. Coulter looking to send this one between the sticks and edge it out to 2 once again. It's just on the edge of the 65, hugging that sideline. Strike comes in from Coulter, and it just drops over the bar. Very good score from Declan Coulter. The last 3 actually on the board for Setanta have all come from 3 from frees from the hurl of Declan Coulter. We're 5 minutes into the second half. There's that 2-point cushion again. It's 8-6.
Yeah, Declan is lethal from anything inside 70 yards. You know, he'll slot him over. He's so much experience at this level. You know, an inter-county level, you know, they don't phase him them kind of opportunities, and he'll knock him over all day.
Shane Marley dropped one into the keeper's hands. Beart now have possession down on their own 22. Big block down there by Josh McGee, and gives a shoulder as well to Stephen Gillespie. A big block by McGee, but it's going to be a sideline puck now to Beart, and it will be taken by Gillespie. Gillespie goes low. It's not a good delivery in by Gillespie. It's picked up by Porter. Porter to Boyle. Beart still have it. They're busting through the challenges, but bundled over there is Kieran Kern, and it's going to be a free to Beart inside their own half, and it's going to be just about 55 out from their own post, as Oisin Marley just lays it back a couple extra metres. About 50 out from their home post, so it's going to be left here for, is it Dara Grant that's possibly going to take this, and looking for the movement up top to see what's happening as Beart look to reduce this deficit. They trail by 2. It's McKinney who actually hit it. It's going to drop in front of the Setanta 13, and the man to sweep it up who's having a good game today is Danny Cullen. Cullen sends it over the top looking for Rory Campbell. It goes out over the sideline, and it's going to be another sideline puck to Beart on this occasion, and it's young Gartland that's making his way over there, and he will take the sideline puck. And again, another opportunity for Beart in this Senior Hurling Championship decider to reduce the deficit on the clock. We've got 7.5 minutes. Gartland swings at it, but Gartland's effort is going to again go short into the keeper's hands. Mark Keane. Keane sends it out. It goes over the top of the midfielder McDermott and Gilmore. Gilmore gets there first, heads on to the 20. Gilmore steadies himself, and that's a good score by Jared Gilmore. As Setanta now go 3 in front once again. This is the second time in this tie that they've gone 3 in front, and it's a second score of the game for Gilmore. It's out to 3, Eugene.
Yeah, difficulty was there. That sideline went in, and there was nobody from Beart inside the 21, and it was a handy ball out then and down the wing here to Jared Gilmore. No better man with a bit of pace and a great strike of a ball put over the bar.
Mark Callahan now sends it forward looking for Josh McGee. McGee inside the 45, he steadies himself, but that effort is going to go out to the right and wide, and that would be just a second wide of the half for Setanta. 10 in total now for the men from the cross, but on the scoreboard, more importantly, they have that 3 points advantage. It is a 9-6 game. It's a 3-point cushion. Is there a response now in Beart? It's with Conor Gartland. He's crowded out by Setanta players. He offloads, and that one's going to drop, and again it's into the hands of Mark Keane. That must be about 6, I would say, now in this tie that Beart have sent into the keeper's hands. That's good fetching by the young Beart player in Curran, but he's dispossessed. Rory Campbell now strides away, and Campbell's effort goes into the hands of Paul Burns, the goalkeeper for Beart, who's living dangerously. Setanta have got a 65. That would have been a massive score for Setanta, because it would have been a 4-point game for the first time in this tie. Eugene, Paul Burns was living dangerously. He got away with a 65.
Yeah, he was. Again, it just dropped short there. Rory Campbell into his hands, and Davin Flynn put a lot of pressure on him, and just got just flicked it out over for a 65. But again, Beart need to get their shape in their own full forward line. If you look down there now, you have 3 Beart players and you have 5 Setanta defenders, and it's 2 easy balls, just like hitting it off a wall, just coming straight back out again, and that's creating the chances then up the other end for Setanta.
Yeah, that one goes over the bar, does it? Yeah, the white flag's raised again. Guess what? It's Coulter with that 65. Declan Coulter gets another one. And that is now 5 in this tie for Declan Coulter. And for the first time, we have a 4-point cushion in favour of the favourites for the Munster Cup this year. Now the questions are going to be asked of Beart, who are in possession. Jack Gallagher's effort is blocked down. Setanta looking to come away with it, but nipping him there is Ronan McDermott. McDermott is fouled, and it's going to be a free for Beart that you would expect them to convert, and one that would be a much welcome one from a Beart point of view, Eugene.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to score, because as you say, it's out to 4 now. Another point or two, then the game kind of drifts away from you. But look, maybe Beart should consider maybe putting Ronan McDermott in on the square and going direct with ball and him, because once he gets in his hand, he's a very direct player, and at this stage, a goal will be a huge score, Yeah,
and they've been relying on the scores of McKinney from the frees and the place ball. Here's McKinney again on the edge of the 20. Well, it's free straight over the bar. It's easy enough for McKinney. It's back to 3, and Liam McKinney now has got 5 points in this game as well, all coming from frees and 65s, and it's back to 3. We've been talking about Ronan McDermott, one of the county stars for Beart. They'll be looking for a bit more of him now in this ties. We head to the end of the third quarter. 11 minutes played in the second half. It's picked up by McKinney. McKinney crosses that 45 in the Setanta half. Dispossessed. It's McDermott that has it. McDermott now trying to get turned. McDermott manages to get turned, and he gets the white flag raised as well. And now Ronan McDermott has sprung to life. What was a 10-7 game is now 10-8, so it's back to 2. So does Eugene.
That's it. And they have put Ronan in the edge of the square and have gone more direct, and he's going to cause them problems in there after getting the ball into him.
As the ball's sent up the field, Dara Grant, excellent fielding, deep in his own half, lays it forward. Beart now going to knock it out to the right hand channel. It's picked up by Jared Boyle. Boyle is going to go low. It's delivered there, but it's going to go over the line. Yeah, it's going to be a sideline puck because Jack Gallagher just couldn't control it. And with the last 2 scores coming from Beart, who were leading by 4 at that stage, 10-6, is now 10-8. And Beart answered them questions. So what can Setanta do? Niall Cleary, wearing number 18, was drafted in just before the game to take the place of Dean Harvey. Sideline puck sent up the field over the top of everybody, and again Dara Grant is there acting as a sweeper. He's tugged round by Oisin Marley. There may be a card coming from Marley. We've had 2 yellows in this game already, Christopher McDermott and Kieran Bradley.
I think it's just a tick on this occasion. Would have been a harsh enough yellow, I think.
And if you're watching the Donegal GA streaming of this final, coverage in association with Max Deli on the high road in Letterkenny. If you tuned your way to Highland Radio Saturday Sport, our coverage from this decider with the Northwest Premier Bathroom and Tile Store. That's Bathroom and Tile Boutique in Bridgend. It's going to be a sideline puck over there on the far side underneath the Aura in favour of the Beart men.
The man of the match pick.
The 10-8 at the moment. Setanta, of course, had it out to 4, looking to get it back to 1. And it's young McKinney again over on that far side that's going to take the sideline puck. He's had a great game on this decider, and it goes to Porter, who goes to ground, needs to get it away. It's picked up there, chance for McKinney. McKinney goes high and over the bar, and there's just one in it, and Liam McKinney gets his first from play. He took the sensible option and went for the point. It's 10-9, and the last 3 points all coming from Beart, Eugene.
Yeah, it's a great response from Beart. You thought that the game might have drifted away from there, they went 4 down, but no, they've really shown some great battle here back into the game again. Young McKinney has been the leading force.
Yeah, now Beart are looking to tie it up. They've launched it forward into the danger zone. It goes over the top. Somebody got a hand in there, it breaks, it spills, and Setanta are able to clear the danger. It's knocked up the right hand channel, and it goes to Richard Key. Key now sends it forward to Coulter. Coulter being marked by Tom Doherty. Coulter goes left and right. The referee is blown for a free on Coulter, and it's going to be in the age of the 65, and again it's going to give Coulter the chance for Setanta to had another one from a place ball well within his range and his capabilities. And we said about Liam McKinney's score when it was 10-6 was a vital one for Beart. This is a key one now for Setanta to sort of curb this energy of Beart at the moment. So does Eugene.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, when a team gets on a roll, you need something, or you just as you say at the Corbett. You know, this is a big strike here now from Declan, but again, it's well within his range.
Yeah, just inside the 65. Declan Coulter with 5 so far. Coulter's effort drops, and that one drops short. Beart deal with it straight away. It's launched up the field. The target is Gallagher, but it's picked up by the other Gallagher. Jack Gallagher has it now. Now it comes in again to Boyle. Boyle sends it high, looking for the danger man up top. And it was Ronan McDermott, but it went over into the keeper's hands. The Beart supporters looking for a free in there. Setanta are able to get it away to Lafferty. Lafferty from the middle of the park sends it high. And Lafferty's effort is over the bar. Bernard Lafferty gets his first of the game, and a timely score for Setanta, Eugene. 15 minutes on the clock. It was 1, it's now 2 again in favour of the men from the cross.
Yeah, kind of a 50-50 ball dropped in there around Ron McDermott. It was broken out, and Setanta worked it well, and a good score there from Bernard Lafferty.
We're into the final quarter, 16 minutes on the clock. It's 11-9, and now Setanta send it forward, but there's going to be another card dished out here. There is a Setanta player going to get a bit of treatment in the form of Danny Cullen. The referee is calling over one of the Beart players for that challenge. Obviously the late one, and with a hurl, and there's a break and play here, and he's waiting for, is it Jared Boyle to come off? It was over just talking to the management. Boyle is going to get a yellow card, yeah. Trevor Malloy from the Buncrana Club, a Longford native, dishes out a card to Jared Boyle. So that's 3 yellows now in this game, all going to Beart, Christopher McDermott, Kieran Brady, who went off injured in the first half, and Jared Boyle. On the scoreboard, it's 11-9. 17 minutes played in the second half. Setanta looking to regain the Munster Cup. They have the advantage at the moment, but Beart aren't out of this. Beart coming from 3 down, and then they came from 4 down to reduce it to 1. But Setanta have managed just to ease out ahead again, and that's great fielding in there by the fullback for Beart, Kieran Bradley. Bradley taking it forward, been chased down by Setanta, goes to zone 45, sends it infield to Porter. Porter just lays it off. Beart continue to hold on to it. And to the number 10, there's Jack Gallagher. Gallagher looking to spread it out to the left. Getting down on it is McKinney. McKinney lays it back. Dinked over the top. Good dink over the top to Porter. Porter's going to come back in field. He needs to release the ball. He's found Conor Gartland. Gartland can't control it. And now coming up the field is Bernard Lafferty again. Lafferty sends it into the man in space inside the 45. It's Jared Gilmore. 2 points for Gilmore in this game. Not enough room to have a go for a third. Coulter wants a 6th in this game, but Coulter's effort goes out to the left and wide. That will be wide, number 11 for Setanta. It stays 2 points the difference. Setanta leading 11-9, and on the clock we've played almost 19 minutes. That would have been a big score for Setanta to go 3 in front again, but Beart are hanging in there, Eugene.
Yeah, it's important now. I think Beart get the next score. They've a chance here now with Ian Gartland going through. Oh, he's been pulled up over Carrion.
Yeah, pulled up over Carrion. It's a bit harsh on Conor Gartland. The Beart supporters think he took a big shoulder in there as well, but he'd overcarried it before the shoulder came in. It's going to be a free to Setanta on their own 45, and this will be taken by Danny Cullen. The steady, the solid Danny Cullen is going to take this. There's another change coming in on the Beart side as well. This will be a third sub coming in for Beart, and Gareth Quinn is going to come in.
Dean Harvey.
Yeah, and Dean Harvey's going to come in for Setanta too. Cullen sends the ball way up the field. Brilliantly fetched up there by the Setanta number 12, Campbell, but he doesn't have the distance again. And now Beart have won a free out. It stays at a 2-point game. The next passage of play is going to go in favour of Beart, and the referee just telling them to slow things down. He wants Paul Byrne to take that free again. So here comes the change for Beart. Gareth Quinn is coming in, and Quinn is going to take the place of Jack Gallagher. A third sub being made by the management of Marty McGrath and Mickey McCann for Beart. And also coming in is Dean Harvey. Dean, wearing 13, was named to start, but his place in the 15 was taken by Niall Cleary. And
Rory Campbell.
Rory Campbell's 12. So Campbell comes off, and into the game goes Dean Harvey. Richie Keys actually the man that's going off. So a change being made by Gary McGettigan, the Setanta manager. They lead here by 2. It's an 11-9 game. Who comes away with the ball? It's the man just under the field, but he's lost possession. The fullback, Stephen McBride, looks to get it away for Setanta. Goes way up the field, drops it in the Beart half. The break is there. It's knocked forward by Setanta. There's a push in the back. Referee Trevor Malloy says yes. The foul committed on Kieran Cullen by Rory Campbell, and it's going to be a free to Beart. It's end-to-end stuff here. So it is. Paul Burns is coming out as well. He's going to right out as far as the 45. Burns might actually take this, so he might. And one of the players, Dara Grant, remonstrating with the linesman about something as well. This one's still very much in the melting pot. The Grand Canal Hotel, Donegal Senior Hurling Championship decider for 2022. With 21 minutes on the clock, Setanta have the advantage by 2 points, 11-9. Paul Burns lumps that one in. It's going to stay in play. A hurl goes up from Danny Cullen. It breaks in favour of Gartland, who turns, but it's blocked down. Setanta look as if they've got possession of the ball, and it's Bernard Lafferty who does brilliantly, but the referee says he threw the ball. There was 4 Beart men around him. He threw the ball, and it's going to be a free now that McKinney will take, and you would expect McKinney to bring this back to a 1-point game again. Yeah,
it was initially very good defending there by Danny Cullen. He knocked it away twice, and then Bernard Lafferty's deemed to have thrown the ball then, or was it Niall Cleary? Niall Cleary, I think it was. Didn't really see it from up here, but Trevor's having a fine game there, refereeing this final. So
Setanta had a couple of opportunities to build on their 2-point advantage, but now McKinney has an opportunity to reduce it to 1. Highlands coverage in association on Saturday Sport from this final with the Northwest Premier Bathroom and Tile Store, Bathroom and Tile Boutique in Bridgend. And if you're watching on the streaming service, coverage on Donegal GAA in association with Max Deli and the High Road in Letterkenny. Young McKinney is taking his time in this tie so far. He has scored 6 of the 9 points. The others coming from McDermott, Boyle and Gartland. McKinney wants to make it 7. McKinney splits the posts here at the O'Donnell Park. The white flag is raised for a 10th time for Beart, and that means they trail Setanta by just a score. It's a 11-10 game, and we've got under 7 minutes to play, Eugene.
Yeah, it's really in the melting pot here now. You know, a goal would be a massive score if one team could conjure it up, but it doesn't look likely from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, the goals are few and far between in this tie. None. There's not even opportunities of goals arising in this tie. The fullback for Beart, Bradley's dispossessed. Beart come away with it. It's Stephen Gallagher. Gallagher's pass is blocked down. Lafferty is able to find Marley. Marley's effort is high, but Marley's effort goes out to the right and wide. On the wide count now, make that 12 for Setanta. On the scoreboard, they still lead by 1, and we've got under 6 minutes to go of the Senior Hurling Decider for 2022. Burns sends it high and into the Setanta half. They're scrapping for it. They're trying to get control of the ball. There's a Setanta player on top of it. The referee, Trevor Malloy, is going to give it Beart's white. He felt that one of the Setanta players, I think it might have been Dean Harvey, was lying on the ball, but it's going to be a free to Beart, and this is Liam McKinney's opportunity now to tie up this game. Beart haven't been level in this match since the 17th minute. We've now played 24 minutes of the second half. We've about 5 plus what's going to be added on at the end of the game. McKinney is 7 in this tie. This is a big strike from the young man.
Yeah, it is, and it's a correct decision to Setanta man trap the ball between his two legs.
McKinney's effort goes high and goes over the bar.
That's great ball from a young fella there to stand up and do that in the county final.
Yeah, great score. 11 points apiece. 5 minutes to go. And Beart, of course, who were 4 down 10 minutes into the half, they have outscored Setanta in that intervening period 5-1. And 4 of those 5 scores have come from McKinney. And now they've picked up the break up in their own half. Dara Grant's just going to launch this into the Setanta half as far as he can. Ronan McDermott's up there in between 2 Setanta players. It breaks, but it's the wing back for Setanta, Donoghue, who gets there first. It's blocked down by Gartland. Here's a chance for Beart. McDermott's looking to feed it in. There's a pull down in there. The referee Trevor Malloy says it's going to be a free. And Beart are putting a squeeze on Setanta here, and they've got an opportunity now to lead in this game. They haven't led in the tie since the opening minutes, and now Beart have a huge opportunity. And again, it's going to be McKinney, and we've got the first yellow card for the Setanta side handed out as well. It might be Donoghue who has got it, but huge call by the referee. Was it the right one?
I think it was the right one. I think Mick Donoghue got caught in possession there coming out. He was overturned, and look, it might have been a kind of a professional foul there, because if he'd skipped past him, he was through on goal. But look, there's a huge opportunity now for Beart to take the lead, and there's 3.5 minutes left.
Yeah, huge opportunity for Beart. We did say, of course, in our preview, Eugene, of this game that Beart had to curtail Setanta and not running away with this tie. In the first half, they went 3 in front, but Beart were able to get it back to 1. Then in the second half, Setanta went 4 in front, and they were able to get back level, and now they've an opportunity to go ahead in this tie.
Yeah, you're correct there, Oisín. Every time it looked like it was going away from them, Beart somehow managed to get those scores to drag themselves back into the game. And look, you have to give great credit to a young team like that in the first county final to have the ability to do that. And it looks like McKinney now is going to split the post.
Yeah, split the post. The Beart players and supporters are on their feet. 9 points for young Liam McKinney, 12 for Beart. Setanta have 11. And we've got under 3 minutes left to play, and whatever additional time is going to be added on in the 2022 Donegal Senior Hurling Championship decider. So then it's picked up by Doherty. The cornerback for Beart flicked forward into space, but there's nobody up top for Beart as they lead here by 1. There's going to be another change coming in for Setanta. It's with Mark Callahan, their captain now. Goes to the fullback, Stevie McBride. McBride's able to skip through a couple of challenges. He's one advantage as well. Now he's just laid that out to the right, looking for Josh McGee, but the referee Trevor Malloy is going to pull it back a bit for a foul there on Stevie McBride. And now there's a player coming in for Setanta. There's going to be this would only be the second sub for Setanta. Fresh legs. Sean Ward's going to enter the game here and take the place of Oisín Marley, Eugene.
Yeah, coming down the stretch now, you need something different at the minute. Fresh legs around the middle there could tell. This is 75 yards from Declan Coulter. They need it, and then look, are we looking at extra time after this? Yeah.
So here's Coulter with 1.5 minutes on the clock. Coulter hasn't scored since the 10th minute of the second half, and since then Setanta have managed just 1 point from play, and that was Bernard Lafferty between the 10th and now we're on the 28th minute. 18 minutes of hurling. Here's Coulter, launches it forward. It's not going to have the distance, and the Beart defence are quite happy to let that go out for a puck out. It stays 12-11 in favour of Beart, with the experienced Paul Burns now coming with the puck out, and he goes short. Launched up the field by Stephen Gillespie into the Setanta half. It's into the D. They're fighting for it. Ronan McDermott's in there. Setanta seem to have enough players back to deal with the danger, but there's a scrap for it. It's going to come out the left hand side of that group, and it's safely in the hands of Mick Donoghue. Donoghue's looking for Coulter. Coulter's going to be met by Doherty once again. Coulter sends it up the field. And the man just under the game's ward with a fantastic catch out ahead of Keelan McDermott. Here comes Setanta moving forward. There's going to be a free here. And it was Jared Gilmore who got away from the Beart defence. And he could have been in for a goal. There was a drag down, a pull down there on Jared Gilmore. And one of the Beart players is going to find themselves in trouble here, Eugene.
Darragh Grant, but look, I don't think he had any option there. If you didn't do that, Jared Gilmore was through, and a goal at this stage would have sealed the victory. Like, so, look, professional foul, call it what you want, but if I was managing, it was a proper decision.
Darragh Grant gets a yellow card. There's going to be 2 minutes added on at the end of this game. Thought there might have been a wee bit more, but 2 minutes. Declan Coulter standing over this, and Declan Coulter will send this one between the posts on the 30th minute, and that would be a 6th point of the game for Coulter. And they've all coming from frees. Here's Coulter. That one goes between the posts. Now 12-12, and we've already played 30 seconds of the 2 minutes added on. The next score is going to be huge, Eugene.
This is a huge puck out here now. Possession is key here. It's a big high one now, and the Beart are outnumbered.
Yeah, goes up the field, and it's picked up by Setanta. Setanta now coming forward. Danny Cullen. Cullen hits it high. Cullen's effort is going to drop over the bar. What a score by Danny Cullen. They're stepping inside the Beart half at his ease and leisure. They hit it with a hurl and it dropped over the bar, and now Setanta through Danny Cullen find themselves one in front, and we've got under a minute to go.
Yeah, that was a fantastic score there. Look, Beart found themselves outnumbered in that puck out 3-1, and it was swept up.
Now Trevor Malloy is giving a free to Beart on the 45 in the Setanta half, and now it's all on the shoulders once again of young McKinney to level this game up.
Yeah,
end-to-end stuff, high drama here in this county senior hurling final.
Yeah, I actually didn't see what that free was. It just to me could be a smart little player, maybe it was a pull of an arm or something like. But
yeah, Malloy sort of indicated there was a pull on it there.
Yeah, this is massive here now.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge
on a young man's shoulders, like, you know.
Well, he's handled the pressure so far, so he has.
Yeah, he's had a tremendous game, game.
And in contention for man of the match, young McKinney.
Very much so.
Yeah, and this will probably be the last action off the half, and we will have extra time if it's all level after this. So young Liam McKinney from the Beart Club, he's had a fabulous game. He has scored 9 of their 12 points in this tie. I think 8 of them was from frees, and there was 1 from play. A couple of 65s in there. Here's McKinney. McKinney hits it high. McKinney's effort drops over the bar. 13-13. The pressure was handled well by young McKinney.
Yeah, you have to applaud him there. Yeah. That's a huge pressure score.
So it's head out long again, and Trevor Malloy is going to let Setanta have an opportunity. It's cut out by Beart as it. Setanta still chasing it. Josh McGee has it, hugging the sideline. He manages to get away from the Beart player. Steps onto the 20. It's knocked in low. It's going to go as far as Paul Burns. It's going to be a wide ball.
That's it right there, I think.
Yeah. There goes the full-time whistle at full-time. That's 13 points apiece. Wow, we've had high drama. We're just waiting on confirmation. Okay then, I think we're going to go to extra time. Yeah, the players all been called over by the respective managements. Somebody was suggesting there that quite possibly we might have a replay, but indications are this is going to be extra time in this 2020 Grand Canal Donegal Senior Hurling Championship decider. 13 points apiece was how it finished. Eugene, Oregon. We had high drama in the end of that game. 26 minutes into the second half, 4 minutes from the end of the match. McKinney made it a 12-11 game to put Beart in front, but then Setanta bounced back with 2 scores. McKinney got the score that levelled it up. We're going to have to go again here shortly.
Yeah, it's been a great game. Like I said, it's been flowed. Like Setanta have, got 3 or 4 points ahead and has been dragged back by Setanta. Look, McKinney's been he's for a young fella in a county final, he's put in a fabulous performance. And then on the other side, you have Declan Coulter, as reliable as ever from the frees, and Danny Cullen popped up with what looked like the winner there. But I have no complaints. It's going to another 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to have another 20 minutes of hurling, hoping that it will be as enthralling as the hour that we have already seen here this afternoon at the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny. The players are ready to get a breather in the changing rooms. They will be back out shortly for 2 periods of 10 minutes of extra time. We're going to get a breather ourselves as we hand back to the studio in the mountain top, and as we do so at the end of normal time, it's finished. Setanta 13 points, Beart 13 points, extra time to come.
Johnny, will you stop pulling out the ball? Jesus Christ, you're useless, Johnny! Johnny, are you listening to me, Johnny? Come on, will you? Look at me when I'm talking to you, Johnny! Ah, Johnny, you're better than that, will you? Come on, for Jesus' sake, Johnny! Ah, Johnny, that's not good enough! Will you have your chance? We'll kick it over the bar, Johnny! My son will be on that county minor team. I have him training every morning, every evening. He's flying fit, so he is. Listen to me! The next time he does that to you, Johnny, look at me when I'm talking to you, Johnny! One more time and I tell you I'll put you here beside me, Johnny! I'll bring you home. Christ, Johnny.
Here, relax, pal. They're only young fellas. Give them a chance, will you?
Take a walk there. Chill out for a minute.
Go away, he's having a clue. Go away with yourselves. Go on.
Here, you need to take a break.
Christ, go on then. I leave you. Good luck. Go on.
If kids can't make their own mistakes, how will they learn? It's no wonder we are losing players to pushy parents every year in the GAA. We need to respect players, referees and supporters in our games. Set a good example for everyone.
We're just waiting on Beart to make their way out onto the field. Setanta have been out for the last couple of minutes ahead of extra time. While we had a dramatic finish to normal time as the game finished 13 points apiece. It looked like Danny Cullen had won it, a 13-12 game for Setanta, but young Liam McKinney, who we all reckon is the man of the match so far today, hit his 10th point of the game to tie it up at 13 points apiece, and McKinney is coming out now along with the rest of the Beart players to start the first period of extra time. 2 periods of 10 minutes, and hopefully we'll have a winner come the end of that. Declan Coulter top scoring today for Setanta so far with 6. The likes of Niall Cleary and Jared Gilmore with 2 apiece. Davin Flynn's managed just 1 score today. Danny Cullen and Bernard Lafferty also getting on the score sheet. The bulk of the scoring for Beart has come from the hurl of McKinney, from either 65s or frees. He has scored 10 of the 13. Ronan McDermott, Jared Boyle and Conor Gartland also getting on the scores as well. We're about to start extra time, so we are Beart coming from 4 points down, and that was 10 minutes into the second half to force extra time here, Eugene, in this game. But there's a lot of experience in this Setanta side, and when you're in a county final and you go to extra time, experience can be telling.
I can't see Setanta panicking at this point. You know, they've been down this road several times. I see Danny Cullen's gone to midfield there now, and he'll dictate things from around there, and Ronan McDermott's gone in full forward for Beart, been picked up by McDonough. So look, maybe Beart maybe go for a few direct balls in, and you know, if Ronan gets on one, they need a big 10 minutes here from Ronan, you know, and if they could stick a goal, it could be a massive turning point in this game.
Yeah, is there a goal in this tie? We haven't had one yet. Normally in hurling there's a goal or two, but there's been no inkling whatsoever of a goal opportunity presenting itself in this tie. 13 points apiece. By hurling standards, that would be a low score, but it's been a cracking Grand Canal Hotel Donegal Senior Championship decider. The referee just out having a word with both the captains before they start this game. Obviously there's the toss, and Beart have won the toss, and Beart are going to play again from right to left in this first half and of extra time, first period of extra time. So they're going to be playing into the clubhouse end of the grounds, and the referee Tom Malloy has the extra time up and running. So then, who's going to make a statement here first in these opening exchanges of extra time? Sent down the right hand channel, not dealt with properly by Beart. It's Setanta that have it. Flicked forward into Rory Campbell. Campbell coming back as far as the 45, where he gives it to Jared Gilmore, and Jared Gilmore has just had his 3rd point of this game. First strike to Setanta, the age out and ahead by 1, 14-13.
That's a fine strike there, ball into the corner. They recycled it well out to the shooter, and Jared Gilmore knocked over a great score. We
literally had 25 seconds on the clock, and now Gilmore is on the deck's going to need a bit of treatment, and Christopher McDermott is having a word with the referee, and Christopher McDermott is already on a yellow card, Eugene, from earlier in the game. Christopher McDermott has just got his red card, for over the top of the hurl, the referee is saying. It didn't seem to be a second yellow. That's a straight red, so does Eugene.
That's a straight red, and Trevor's indicating it's a strike. I didn't see it. I was watching the ball going over the bar, and it seemed to something happened when it was coming out, but look, they're calling for a blood sub here, so there must have been some contact, but that's a huge blow now to the Beart.
Yeah, it's a massive blow to Beart, so it is. They trail here by 1, and now they're down a man as well. Christopher McDermott, one of the players that would be required for a big extra time period, has left the pitch. There's been a blood sub as well. Marley is into the game for Jared Gilmore, who took a knock to the head. In the meantime, Paul Burns launches this down the field. It's 14 men against 15. Numerical advantage players wise on the pitch in favour of Setanta. On the scoreboard they lead by 1. They're looking to make this 2 now. Up it goes as far as the second half substitute, Sean Ward. Sean Ward sends it across the 45 in the Beart half. Support is there with Rory Campbell. Campbell strikes from about 47 out, and it's going to drop into the hands of the Beart goalkeeper, Paul Burns. Burns now looking for Jared Boyle. Boyle knocks it up the channel, but just asking a bit much of Ronan McDermott. There was enough of black and green jerseys there to deal with it, and already the ball up as far as the D to Ward again in the half of Beart. Sean Ward turns, and his effort drops over the bar. And Sean Ward, the second half substitute, gets his first of the game and gets a score as well, which now puts Setanta 2 in front, 15-13.
Yeah, the difficulty Beart have now is, Setanta are going to free up Danny Cullen, and he's going to sweep up ball there all day long. And it just looks, 10 minutes, 3 scores is huge.
Yeah, it's knocked down the channel. So it is. It's down into that pocket, and Ward is there again. Ward's fighting it out with Kieran Bradley. Beart looking to come away with it. It's Bradley that has it. Up the left-hand channel, underneath the roof of the stand here at the O'Donnell Park. Cleary's in there fighting for it. They kept Cleary over the line, but the ball's still in play. Doherty looking for it. Instead, Coulter swings a leg at it, can't control it. It's with the Setanta player. It's Mick Donoghue now. Donoghue's going to knock it back as far as his own 65 to Lafferty. Lafferty just sends it into space, way up the field, into the channel down the left-hand side. It's on the other side of the pitch. Davin Flynn has 1 point in this game. He's looking for 2. The nod comes. And now Setanta go 6-13 in front. It's back to a 3-point game once again. Gilmore, Ward, and now Flynn getting on the score sheet in this extra time period of age 3 in front, Eugene.
Yeah, the big players of Setanta now are coming to the fore there. Danny Cullen, Declan Coulter, Flynn, Ward, since he's come in, he's got on 3 or 4 good balls there. It's just, Beart really need a puck out and really need a score here now.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard for Beart, so it is. And they're down, of course, to 14 with Christopher McDermott. McDermott has been sent off, a straight red. He was on a yellow in the first half, but it was a straight red for striking out on Jared Gilmore. Gilmore's back into the game. In the meantime, the ball drops in the Setanta half, and coming away with it is Campbell. Campbell being tracked by Doherty. Good defensive work by Doherty. Now it's Porter that has it for Beart. Well, he thought he had it, and there's a hurl coming in from behind, and it's going to be a free to Beart. Derek Grant's looking to take this one quickly. In the meantime, Kieran Bradley now has it again for Beart. He's going to take this free, and he's just going to launch it in there, looking, I'm sure, for either McKinney or McDermott. It's launched high. It's dropping in front of the Setanta goal, all the way over the bar.
Good score.
Yeah, a mighty score by Kieran Bradley from inside his own half. It's almost 80 metres, and the advantage of Setanta now has been reduced to 2. Kieran Bradley gets his first score of the game.
Yeah, there was a badly needed score there. It was a great strike from inside his own half to stick it over the bar. Ward on it again.
Sean Ward's had a good opening period in this extra half for Setanta. Coulter goes low into Gilmore. Gilmore gives it back to Coulter. Coulter takes a couple of shoulders, but now he's overcarried possession, and it's going to be back with Beart once again. And it's Kieran Bradley, the fullback. He's already scored from a similar position. So he has, and he's going to place this one. Can he do it a second time, Eugene?
Confidence is up, why not?
Yeah. He's about 7 or 8 metres inside his own half. No, it's not going to happen on this occasion, but he's going to get another go at it. By the looks of things, the referee is telling Jared Gilmore to move away further. He's too close. So Bradley, who hit that classy free just a few moments ago from the same position, he'll take a wee metre or 2 here, so he might. The linesman's keeping an eye on it. So then, and Kieran Bradley strike it again. Here comes Bradley. He's hit it high. This time it's going to tail out to the left. It's going to stay in play. Oh, that's a brilliant fielding. That looks like Danny Cullen. Yeah, came away. Brilliant fielding by Danny Cullen. And now Setanta have knocked it up the pitch. And now Josh McGee gets out ahead of Kieran Kern. McGee is able to flick it back in to his possession. Here comes McGee. He's got Gilmore to the left. Doesn't need him. McGee's kept going. Chance of a goal possibly for Setanta. Oh,
what a save.
Brilliant save by Paul Burns. He got the hurl to it. It goes out to the left and wide. And Paul Burns has kept his side in this Donegal Senior Hurling Championship final, Eugene.
Oh, absolutely. That's a fantastic save. I've faced Burns a few times, for a small man. He looks very big when you're going through on goal. He's very hard to beat. But that was an outstanding save. If that was gone in, it was curtains, I would have thought. Yeah,
if that went in, it would have been 116 to 14. But Paul Burns, with a fantastic save, has kept it out, and it's going to be a 65 here now to Setanta. And Declan Coulter, is going to come up and take this. Coulter 6 points in this game so far, all coming from frees and 65s. very slightly off to the right of the post, but you would expect Coulter to hit this 9 times out of 10. Coulter sends it high and sends it forward, and Coulter's effort goes over the bar. Back to 3, 17-14. Declan Coulter, 7 in this senior final.
Yeah, but still, it's only a one puck of a ball. We're back level again, like. But you know that's the experience there of having the likes of Declan Coulter there to take those
that was that was the first time in this game that we had a goal opportunity, Eugene.
Yeah, that's true. Prior to that, I don't remember the keeper having to make a save.
Yeah.
You know?
Setanta have one possession again around the middle, and it's Jared Gilmore. Gilmore running into space. Gilmore's just going to knock this one over the bar. 18-14, and for the second time in this game, Setanta have taken a 4-point lead. But remember, in the second half, Beart came from 4 points down to force extra time. But it could be a taller order this time around because there were 14 men on the pitch with Christopher McDermott being sent off. Gilmore is having a good extra time period as well. He's brought his total now to 4. We've got about a minute and a half to the end of the first period of extra time. And again, it's going to be a Setanta ball over on that far side underneath the Aura Leisure Centre. Is 4 points maybe too much at this stage, Eugene, the way things are panning out, and given the fact that you're down a man as well?
Yeah, it's a tall ask now at this stage because Setanta seem to be just getting into their rhythm now. They're finding the pockets of space. They're finding, Davin Flynn and Jared Gilmore and stuff like that in space, and they're just beginning to turn the screw a bit here.
And it goes again as far as the D in the Beart half. The break is going to be picked up. Sean Ward got a bit of his body to it. In the meantime, it's Davin Flynn who goes low. It's saved again by Paul Burns, who knocks it out as far as Stephen Gillespie. And Beart looking now to reduce this deficit. Danny Cullen just couldn't get a hurl to it. Did Beart have it? Ronan McDermott out around the middle now. And McDermott is fouled as well. We're going to have 1 minute added on at the end of this first period of extra time. We're going to be starting that minute shortly. But in the meantime, it's a free to Beart, and it's young McKinney again, who's had a quiet extra time period after having a fantastic second half in the game. And he's looking to knock this one between the posts. He hasn't missed any today, young Liam McKinney. 65 out. McKinney knocks it high, and McKinney's effort is going to go over the bar. Another good score by McKinney. McKinney keeps Beart in touch. There's just 3. There's just a goal in it here. And McKinney's now 11 points in this game.
11.
Yeah, and we have played 10 minutes. So we've about 30 seconds to go to the end of the first period of extra time. It's launched way up deep into the Beart half. Out comes Paul Burns. Good catch by the Beart goalkeeper. And he's fouled as well. Burns is fouled on that occasion, and it's going to be a free out to Beart. I don't think he'll have much time. Burns goes short to Gillespie. Gillespie now knocks it up the field, picked up by Dara Grant. Grant's effort is blocked down. Setanta looking to gain possession again. We're in the closing seconds of the 1 minute added on at the end of the half. It comes off the hurl of now Cleary as the referee blows for half time and extra time, and it's a 3-point advantage for Setanta. 18-15, and the big players, Eugene, as we bring you back in again, all stepping up for Setanta when they were needed at the start of extra time. Like Gilmore, Flynn, Coulter, all among those 5 scorers. Sean Ward also having an impact and come on as a second half substitute, but again, big players and experience telling probably.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all them lads are inter-county lads, and they've played in big games. And Jared Gilmore got 2 great points there. Declan Coulter again, Davin Flynn. It's a big ask now for Beart. But look, at the same time, there's only 3 points in it. It's a puck of a ball. But Setanta, I've found over the years, are a great team to close out a game. They'll drop back deep and they'll suffocate you. I think at this stage Beart probably need a goal if they're going to drive on.
How hard is a goal going to be to get, given the fact that you're down to 14 and one of the men that you would be looking for a big performance, Christopher McDermott, is not on the pitch anymore, sent off with that red card for striking out?
Yeah, look, I suppose you're really up against it because, as I say, Setanta will shut up shop back there. They'll probably have Danny Cullen or someone there, Bernard Lafferty, someone sweeping, and you're hitting hope shots in there, I suppose, looking for Ronan maybe to get his hand on a ball or a lucky break or something like that, But and then you're leaving yourself, if you push too far forward, you're leaving pockets in your own full back line. If you give space to Jerry Gilmore, Davin Flynn, even Josh McGee's come into the game there as well, you know, Rory Campbell, all pacey young lads, you know, they're going to punish you. Look, 10 minutes, as I say, a puck of a ball, hurling's a funny game, it can turn in a heartbeat, but you know, I think that at the minute Setanta probably are in the driving seat, you know. Yeah, very much for Setantas now to lose as they lead here 18-15. We're just going to nip back to the studio on the mountaintop and take a quick commercial break. We'll have more commentary from this enthralling Donegal Senior Hurling Championship decider after these. The second half underway now of extra time here in this Grand Canal Hotel. Donegal Senior Hurling Championship final. Beart have a lot of work to do. They trail by 3. Setanta very much in the driving seat as they lead 18-15. And they raced out to a 3-point advantage at the start of the first half in extra time after Gilmore, Ward and Flynn knocked over the points. They're in the driving seat. There'll be 10 minutes of hurling left to determine who will win this, and as things stand, it's Setanta here in the driving seat, and I'll tell you what, they've firmed up that position even more now, because they've got the white flag raised again, and it's gone to a 19-15 game, and it was Dean Harvey who came in as a second half substitute, getting his first score off the game, an important one too, Eugene. Yeah, it looked to me it was some kind of a bit of a mix up there in the Beart defence. Dean Harvey was on his own from the throw-in, and you know, Danny Cullen found him with the ball and he just knocked it over. Yeah, 19-15 now. It's a 4-point game. This is going to be a Beart free. Stevie McBride, a challenge on Dara Grant, and it's going to be a free to Beart on the edge of their own half. And there's the first of the yellow cards being dished out to a Setanta player. Of course, we've had several cards for Beart and one red, and Christopher McDermott being sent to the line. But young McKinney again is going to take this for Beart. And it's right bang in the middle of the pitch, 70 plus metres out from the Setanta goals in the second half. Beart are playing into the River Swilly end of the ground here. And there's going to be another player into the book, and I think it could be young Rory Campbell. He's going to be the latest, a yellow card, and obviously he's having a bit of a ding dong with Keelan Porter, but a yellow card for Rory Campbell. That's now 2 in the Setanta half. So young McKinney is going to take this. Beart of 15 points. Liam McKinney has scored 11 of those. Here comes the effort of McKinney, and that one drops over the bar. 19-16, Liam McKinney, a young man, has 12 points in a county final. That's a phenomenal return from the corner forward and from their free taker. He's having a blistering game, but the rest of the Beart players are going to have to try and step up now if they're going to get back into this, Eugene. Yeah, they're a little bit more now from play. If you know something, you know, they probably need a goal, like, if you're to be honest about this, because you know, Setanta probably will take on another point or two here, and just the clock will beat you then. Yeah, here comes Setanta charging forward. It's Harvey again, stepping onto the 13 and looking at his reaction. The fist is in the air and the white flag is raised, and Paul Burns is saying that it wasn't, that it was wide. I'm just watching the referee to see what's going on. They have given it. Harvey has scored the last 2 points for Setanta. They go back 4 in front. It's a 20-16 game, and we've almost 3 minutes played now of the second period of extra time. So 70, so it stays at 3 then. It's been overruled by the referee. That is a white. So we go back to 19. We'll just scrub that out. It remains 3 points then, 19-16. It's possibly a call by the linesman on the far side. He had the best view on it.
Burns sends it down the barrel of the gun into the Setanta half. The hurls go into the air, but it's Setanta and Gilmore that have it. Gilmore flicks it forward into the path of Campbell. Campbell running away from Porter and Grant. Great running by Rory Campbell. This is fantastic running by Rory Campbell. He deserves a point out of this. Campbell knocks it over the bar. And young Rory Campbell has got his first of the game, and now it's a 4-point game. And
no disputing that one. That was a great run from the middle of the field. He's got blistering pace, young Campbell, and he did the sensible thing and knocked her over.
Yeah, first point of the game for Campbell. Nice one it was as well. As Setanta now go 4 in front, 20 points to 16 ahead. Again it goes up, and it's Gilmore again coming away with it. We mentioned about the big players playing well at a vital part of the game. The big players for Setanta in this extra time are playing well. Sean Ward takes a shoulder and the back goes to ground. Now Coulter takes one and goes to ground. Now the referee blows a free, and it's going to be a free for Setanta on the edge of their own half.
Yeah, ball won there again by Declan Coulter, like doing the hard work there. He'll probably go down now with a bit of an injury and ease into the time a little bit. But that's experience there again. But you have to say, Ger Gilmore has kind of tore into this extra time now. He's got on a lot of ball, got a good ball, and got a couple of scores.
Yeah.
So
Gilmore,
the big names.
Yeah, Gilmore putting himself into a position of a possible contender for man of the match with his performance in extra time as well. And another change, off comes one of the two Gallaghers in the half forward line, Stephen, and James Donaghy, where number 18 is into the tie. So 5 minutes to go in this Donegal Senior Hurling Championship final. Setanta remain 4 in front. It's a 20-16 game, and it is going to be a free to Setanta and Declan Coulter, an Armagh native, of course, playing his hurling here in Donegal over the last number of years. He's won senior club championships with Setanta. He's won Nicky Rackard Cups, of course, with Donegal. But now he's a free, his own 65, looking to put 5 points the difference. And that one has gone out to the right and wide. The umpire calling it wide, so it stays at 4 with just over 6 minutes to play. Burns gives it off to Gillespie. Gillespie now for Beart, sends it up the channel. It's picked up by Porter. They're looking for Gartland in there, but it's easily dealt with by the keeper, Kane, for Setanta. Out to Coulter. There's loads of space, lots of room now appearing in this game for the Setanta men. Coulter on the edge of the Beart half sends it high and forward. It's going to drop and stay in play, and out comes Burns again. He catches it. He's going to knock it back up the field once again. Danny Cullen, loads of time to catch it. Is able to flick it forward into the path of Campbell. Campbell is going to go low. The delivery in as far as the 45. Good turn on this occasion by Davin Flynn. Now it's opened up again. Is there a chance of a goal here? Oh, what a strike by Davin Flynn. We've got that goal in this game, and it's come from Davin Flynn with a stunning strike into the top left-hand corner. And that's going to seal the deal, seal the game for Setanta, Eugene.
Yeah, I would think so now at this stage. Like that was a super finish, and like it just shows the quality of Davin Flynn. He only needed that one chance, and he left young Burns with no chance in the world. But it's been a gallant effort from these young Beart lads, and you can take a lot from it. But I think that has sealed the deal here today. Yeah,
there's 3 minutes to go, and it's back to the point that we mentioned earlier about the big players stepping up and how you can be competitive in a game when you're down a player on the pitch, and the gaps have all opened up over the course of extra time. So they have when you're down to 14 men, and the big players have stepped up.
Absolutely, the more experienced players and the better players, they'll find a way to eventually wear you down and get those breaks. And we've seen here in the periods of extra time that Santa just have kicked on, and their big men have come to the fore. Yeah, the big men have certainly come to the fore. We're just waiting on Burns to take this free, or this puck out rather. Davin Flynn's been spoken to now by the referee for something that we didn't catch. It's a yellow card for Davin Flynn. Whatever went on that occasion, the referee spoke to his umpire. It stays 120-16. It's a 7-point advantage on the clock. We've got bang on 2 minutes left to play, plus whatever additional time. And if Beart are going to stay in this game, they need a couple of goals. Is there one from Ronan McDermott? It's saved by the keeper. It was easy for the keeper. Bernard Lafferty now launches it forward again. It's going to fall into the path of Kern. Kern looking to get through. Jared Gilmore, who's had a big extra time period for his side. And here he is now trying to get possession.
ball is going to come off a Beart player and go in favour of Setanta, the linesman says. The men from the cross will have a sideline puck. There's a change coming too as well. Josh McGee's coming off, and Conor McGettigan is coming into the tie. The sideline puck, excuse me, is for Beart, not for Setanta. It's going the way of Beart, and Kieran Bradley is going to take this. Bradley with a sideline puck for Beart with just over a minute left to play. That's a lovely sideline puck too. That's 2 scores for Bradley now in this game, but it just may be too late for the Beart men. The difference, of course, is still 6 points, and we're into the closing minute as Frankie Doherty gets the Munster Cup down below us ready to present to the winning captain, the player of the match. The man of the match award will also be presented. We'll announce that shortly when John McAniff, the PRO, will confirm who was the overwhelming winner of the man of the match. In the meantime, the ball comes back into play. 30 seconds to go, plus whatever time is going to be added on at the end. Gartland just lays it back. There's going to be a free to Beart on the edge of the half. We wait to see what will be added on at the end of the game, but Setanta in the driving seat. Their big players stepped up with big performances in extra time, and they got that goal, which was crucial, from Davin Flynn, and a cracker of a goal it was as well. So Oisin Marley is back in, taking the place of Niall Cleary for Setanta. Gartland sends one high, and it's going to drift out to the right and wide, and that will be another wide. It was actually the first wide of extra time. That's 5 in total in this game. On the scoreboard, it stays 120 to Setanta, 17 to Beart. We have played the 10 minutes, so whatever is going to be added on at the end of the game, we're now to the discretion of the officials. Setanta are empty on the bench. They're bringing on the players. Rory McLaughlin is going to be introduced as well for the men from the cross. Beart are trying to get their hands on the sliotar, but it's Setanta who come away with it, and Declan Coulter. But now Conor McGettigan's judged to have thrown the ball, and there's a bit of pushing and shoving going on down at the Setanta bench. They're looking for the ball. Dara Grant is on the deck in front of the Setanta bench. There's 1 minute going to be added on at the end of the game. We've actually played that 1 minute, so we've played the 1 minute. So we're now just at the discretion of the referee. An effort comes in from Bradley again, and that gets a point as well. So there's 5 now in it. It's a second one from Bradley to bring his total to 3. But we would expect the referee shortly to blow the full-time whistle to this game and bring an end to the Grand Canal Hotel Donegal Senior Championship decider for 2022, which Setanta will be crowned champions again, making up for that huge disappointment of losing to St Eunan's last year. Before that, they won 3 of the 5 previous finals. It's now going to be 4 out of 6 for the men from the cross. We played nearly 2 minutes added on at the end. The ball sent up forward, looking for Davin Flynn. Also up there is Oisin Marley. Flynn has it. It comes back the way. There's going to be a free over on the far side of the pitch. Well, the referee, actually Trevor Malloy, is coming to have a word with James Donoghue, who Bernard Lafferty's on the deck down here. And there's another yellow card dished out to Beart, James Donoghue. The referee just coming over now to check on Bernard Lafferty. We've got 2.5 minutes overplayed at the end of the game. It's just a matter of seeing this out. Declan Coulter has come off the pitch. He's played his part today. Coulter, I look at my notes, scoring 7 points in this decider, all coming from frees. Lafferty still getting a bit of treatment as we wait play to continue, but this will be the end of it, I would say. We'll bring in Eugene Organ, who's joined us for first time in commentary on Highland Radio and also on Donegal GAA for further streaming. Bernard Lafferty's going to get a bit more treatment. We're into the closing seconds of this tie, Eugene, and I suppose that hurt that you guys at St Eunan's inflicted on this team. That was very much a driving force behind them and looking to reclaim the Munster Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't manufacture hunger and disappointment. They've been looking I'd say since the final whistle last year to come back here and reclaim the Munster Cup. Like, and you know, they've gone about their business very well. It's been a very, very tight game, and just they've kicked on now in extra time, and I think the Clack's going to ultimately beat Beart here. You know.
Yeah, it's done and dusted here. We're just waiting on the full-time whistle to come. Danny Cullen launches one, and it's going to be another title for Danny Cullen as well. The break's going to be picked up by Beart. There goes the full-time whistle. It is all over here at the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny, and for the 4th time in the last 6 seasons, the Donegal Senior Hurling Championship has been won by Setanta after extra time, defeating Beart on a final scoreline of 120 to 18. It was a 5-point win in the end. It was a really, really gutsy performance by Beart, who of course came from 4 points down 10 minutes into the second half to force extra time. But in that extra time period, the big players for Setanta all stood up. The likes of Jerry Gilmore scored a couple of points. Davin Flynn got that all-important goal. The likes of Coulter also involved as well, and Danny Cullen. The experience of being in so many finals in recent years, very, very much telling. The big players for Setanta coming through in extra time as they lift the Munster Cup once again, as we said, for a 4th time in 6 seasons, and the title is heading back to the Cross. And on that extra time performance, I suppose deservedly so, Eugene.
Yeah, deservedly so. Like, you know, as I said, it was nip and tuck all the way through, and you know, they just, as you say, in extra time, just that bit of quality, and you know, that they just found this pockets of space, and you know, inter-county stars there stepped up. Davin Flynn, Declan Coulter, Danny Cullen is very solid. Jared Gilmore. But look, Beart can take fierce heart from this performance. Like, young players lost. Christopher McDermott there for whatever happened. I didn't quite see it. Young Kieran Bradley went off early in the game. But look, they've a lot of good young talent there. Like, and you know, there's just today was just they're just not that far down the road. But look, they're a coming force again. You know. Yeah,
just a mention on Liam McKinney. He was the man of the match today, and it doesn't happen very often when you get a man of the match on the losing side. He scored 12 of their 18 points. He didn't miss a free, I don't think, the whole afternoon, or a 65, Eugene. And for a young man, there was serious pressure on his shoulders, but he handled that pressure very, very well, and deserving man of the match.
Oh, in my book, absolutely 100%. A young fella there, you know, when Setanta were pulling away, he stepped up and he took those pressure frees and he put them over, and that one there at the end, like, you know, to bring it to extra time, you know, fully deserved man of the match. And I know it's kind of not traditional to give it to the runners up, like, but no, full deserving of the award today.
Okay, and just finally, Eugene, I know we have to go back to the studio because we've got the obituary notices coming up shortly here on Highland. But as for Setanta, they have bounced back, and it's a 4th and 6 years for them, and they're just showing again that they're still the dominant force in Donegal hurling.
Oh, absolutely. You know, they have quality throughout the field there, and even their bench, young Ward came on there, and he thundered into the game, got 3 or 4 great balls and drove it on. But look, they're going into the Ulster Junior Championship now, and they'll be a force to be reckoned with there.
Okay. Eugene, thanks for joining us today for the first time on commentary. Very, very solid job. Well done. Good to have you on board. Eugene Organ there, former Donegal player and former St Eunan's manager on the commentary team on Highland, and of course on DonegalGAA.ie as well. We're going to hand back to the studio in Letterkenny. Just to let you know, we will have reaction pieces from this victorious Setanta side available on our website, highlandradio.com, later this evening. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. We go back to the studio and say a very good evening from the O'Donnell Park.
Canal Hurling's man of the match comes up to receive his award from Kyle aboard the Conway McMcGrath. So this card, cards I'll hand you over now to Canal, Board McCondy, Mick McGrath. Thank you for your lower down.
If both teams could come to the front of the stand here, please, to do the presentation, we appreciate that. So on behalf of the county board, it's a pleasure for me to present the man of the match for today's final, Letterkenny from the Beart Club. Well done, Liam. So as Cahir reporting from this morning will be in charge. It's as chairman of the county board, and it's a great pleasure for me to be here today. It in fact was a very sporting and well fought contest. Up to the final whistle of normal time, the game could have went either way. In the added time that was played on, then Setanta excelled. Their experience showed the scores flowed a little bit easier for them. Commiserations to the Beart Club. You've come back here today after losing a county semi-final last year to get to a county final with a very young team, and it's obvious that the historic work of hurling in the Beart Club is continuing with the youth that you are developing. I congratulate everyone that's doing that in the Beart Club, especially the mentors and the coaches that are working with the underage. So commiserations to Beart. I have absolutely no doubt you'll be back here again. To our competition sponsor, Canal Hotel in Dublin, we thank you for sponsoring the competition. We also like to acknowledge Canal Hurling, who have sponsored the man of the match here today. Without our sponsors, we couldn't have all these awards, and we thank the sponsors for supporting hurling in the country. Not every decision is agreed with match officials, but I would congratulate the match officials today. I thought you got the majority of the big calls right, and you had an excellent game. There was no contentious roaring at you at the end of the whistle, so I think that overall you could be pleased with it. It's good to see hurlers returning to refereeing and refereeing coming through it in the country. Thanks to all that officiated today. Thank you. So on behalf of the county board, I would like to present the Senior Hurling Championship for 2022 to the captain, Mark Callahan. Well done, Mark. Well done, Mark. What a game, and thank God it's over. I'll keep this long. I've just a few thanks here for made this all possible. I'd like to thank the ref, Bever, and all the officials. It's tough going for them to be out there. It's not easy to make every decision. They got a good hold of the game today, and I'll thank you very much. To the groundsmen, Union's Club here, the punches are immaculate after the weather, and it's good to get a surface as good as that to play on. So thanks very much to the ground. To our management, Gary, and all his factor and team coaches, Bradford, Kevin, Mark, Jason, Tab, unseen work them boys are putting on this season was unbelievable, and it's not gone unnoticed by us boys. We're very fucking grateful for everything you do for us boys. To the panel, Setanta, 1 to 30, whatever's there, everyone is needed today. And I thank you for the hard work. It's been an honour to captain you. I feel an honour to stand up here up the cup on behalf of you. Thanks very much. To all the partners, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever it is, wives, husbands. It's not possible without you. We know all the sacrifices you put in for us to make it to training, all the washing, because I know them boys aren't doing it there.
But thanks very much. Nothing could be possible without you. Thank you. For our famous supporters, Setanta is famous for their supporters no matter where we go. And thanks very much for turning out today again. And it's only fair that I mention some past supporters that are not here today. In the form of Eamon Campbell. Eamon is a great supporter of both Donegal and Club Hurling. And I'm pretty sure he's taken some comfort today, the Campbells and wider family, that he's smiling down today. Finally, to Beart, what a way to finish the game. It's credit to you. Went to the very wire, to the very end, and the future panel showed there. Very young, inexperienced, maybe coming good in the next 3 years. Keep at it. That was a brilliant game, and it was a pleasure sharing the pitch with us today. That's me. Let's get back to the cross. Well done.
I'm joined by Liam McKinley from the Beart Club. Liam, commiserations, you picked up Man of the Match award, so it's a bittersweet afternoon for you today.
It was a very, very, very tough game there. Going to extra time, like it was tough coming in. Like thought we nearly had it there, but then ordinary time. But I suppose the freeze sort of kept us in it there at certain stages. Like so, I was glad I was on it today with the freeze. Like so.
So your total was 12 out of the 18.
I didn't realise that much coming up here. Like, but I'm happy with myself. But it'd be great if we would have won. Like, but. It's just the way it is.
So, as Beart's first final in 4 years, I'm sure you'll take a lot of learnings from today, Liam.
It's a lot of boys' first final here, so it is. A lot of boys are under 20, some 17, 18 year olds starting here. So next year, like we'll definitely be back at it again. Like, and I'd say we'll be definitely in the final and hopefully there again.
And your season isn't over. You're still the under 21 championship to take.
Under 21 still to come. I'm not sure exactly when that starts, but. I'd say we'll have a good run at that as well.
And finally, you had an insight into what it's like in the Donegal senior panel this year. I'm sure that's something you're going to strive towards coming this year.
That's what I hope to do. Hopefully I'll be nearing the starting 15 this year. I was made a few substitute appearances this year, but I was coming better near the end. Hopefully I can push on next year now and put myself in the team. Hopefully.
Liam, thanks for talking to us.
Thanks very much.
Champions for 2022. Mark, how does that sound?
That sounds unbelievable. Great to be here and great to get the result.
You were forced to go the hard way this year and getting your hands on it.
Yeah, well, here, credit to Beart. You never count them out of the county final, no matter, and that's we've showed maybe but a weakness in past finals. It was 14 years since we beat them in a county final, and I'm just delighted to get over the line today.
Tell me, you were a point down about 5 minutes before the end of normal time. Did you think at that stage that maybe it might not be your day today?
Well, maybe the thought crossed your mind, but I knew if we're anywhere near the top, we have the class in the forward line, the defenders work it, forwards, the turnovers from the day stands to them. Like, I had no doubt that we'd take it to the wire. I know it can go either way on the day, but I'm delighted that it went our way today.
What was the thoughts going into extra time?
Extra time, we knew we had the fitness and work done. We're training hard this last few months, hey, and we knew legs wasn't an issue, and we knew the bench wasn't an issue. You see the likes of Dean Harvey, and so I'm delighted for him. He started most of the games, hard done by him maybe today, came on 2 brilliant points and probably got us over the line.
And Davin Flynn's goal 5 minutes from the end of the game really sealed the deal, didn't it?
Class. At that stage I was roaring that point would have done, but Davin being Davin, the goal was on, he took it.
Finally, how big a factor was losing last year's St Eunan's here at Roland Park to push you on and get your hands back on the championship trophy this year?
Listen, it was heartbreaking last year. You know, things just didn't go. Every dog is their day. Fair dues to Eunan's took their chance when it was there in front of them. From pre-season, we knew this is where we needed to be. We knew the work that we needed to put in to overcome either team, Eunan's, Beart, or whoever we met. It didn't matter. We had the plan set out for the game, not the team we were meeting. So I'm delighted for the management. They put in such a huge effort, and you know, the sacrifice was there, and everything went our way in the day.
Jared, congratulations and enjoy your celebration.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.